And welcome to the MSDF LiveCast Episode 8. I am hung like a zombie.
I'm Perfect Fat Man.
I'm Nui.
And this is Phoenix Otaku coming to you live from PostCon.
More like post-con depression.
Yeah, I agree.
That's already came and went.
I know, it's been back again since that Kill la Kill OVA.
Well, that's a completely different kind of depression, besides for con depression.
Yeah, that's true.
I ain't gonna look through pictures through my phone of the con and get depressed that Kill la Kill's over.
So, what have you guys been up to for the past, few days since the con has ended?
Slept. And got my figures in.
Oh, Jesus.
Been working and catching up on anime.
Working and non-stop.
Well, yeah, of course, working and then falling even farther behind on anime. Besides for a Kamiga Kill. That has been the one anime I said I will not fall behind on this season, and so far I have not, thankfully.
Well, I'm pretty much caught up with what I'm watching. Man, I'm sorry, man. Me thinking of... Well, you know what, man? Like, instead of thinking about the con and then getting depressed about it, let's actually have a friggin' discussion about it here.
Really quick, though, for people that haven't seen us at the con, though, we should probably say what we've been up to the past 3 weeks, since we aired episode 7.
Yeah, no, guys, we are sorry about that, but we were getting ready for the con. We were getting our panels finished up and everything, and once again, we're sorry.
Well, what happened is we were originally going to record episode 8 before the con, a couple days before the con, but we had 5 people using one Wi-Fi, and then the Wi-Fi decided to shut down on us, so we decided, let's push it back to Thursday. And then we were so just amped for the con, we're just like, do we really want to do an episode? Nah, fuck it. We'll do it at the con. And then at the con, we got so pissed off that we completely forgot about the live cast.
Yeah.
So that led us to here. Which should be episode 9, but is actually episode 8.
That is correct. So let's... Alright, go on,
Patience
sorry.
makes everything better.
Yeah, that's true. Well, patience, I think, was the key thing here for the very beginning part of our convention. I think, what was it? When did we arrive at the Renaissance?
Well, we got to the hotel at about noon. Well, at least me, Nui, and Pervy.
Yeah, that's right. I had to go pick up Adrian.
So we got there and sat in the fucking heat for about half an hour while we waited for you and Adrian.
Where'd you all go, the Girls Junior?
No. We just sat outside my truck.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like a bunch of retards.
Listening to music.
Okay.
Yeah, you know that new Justin Bieber song?
Don't.
Alright, so shall we get into our schedule then? For the con, I mean.
Yeah, about to say, what schedule are you fucking talking about?
What schedule, man? This is a convention.
You don't plan a schedule at a convention because it's never gonna happen. You'll schedule one thing and then all of a sudden your group will drag you off to somewhere else or get food and then you'll realize that you forgot about a panel you wanted to go to.
Right. Yeah, it's true. That's happened to me.
That's something I could talk about what happened to me on Sunday, because I know exactly about forgetting schedules.
But for the people that aren't in the state of Arizona and are, going to listen to this, what Sabo is it's a anime convention. It's the largest Southwest anime convention.
Yeah.
And And for the past, I think, 3 years, it's been held at the Renaissance in Glendale, Arizona.
Now, really quick, when we say the Southwest, we are not including Southern California.
Exactly, because California is technically part of the West.
Yes, California is the West. So when we say Southwest, we are talking about Arizona, New Mexico.
No, and like Nevada.
Ne- yeah, Nevada, probably even Utah.
And that's pretty much the Southwest. Well, I guess you could say Texas to a point, but that's technically though the actual South. Still, I would think.
Yeah, I consider Texas the South. Any part of the Confederacy is the South.
Back the way you came.
Back
But,
the way you came.
Well, shout out to the people in Texas. They're gonna hate us during A-Con.
Applebee's, be prepared.
Speaking of Applebee's, I've been getting a lot of emails from them lately.
Oh, they're prepared. They know you were going to come cross-dressed.
Is that one of them queers?
Oh God.
I would feel bad for him if he actually did cross-dress, because what I've heard, it could be like 100 degrees there, and then like 80% humidity. So
Fuck that. I don't need
Yeah.
mascara in my eyes.
Yeah, man,
Just
you've been
stay in the
scratching.
hotel.
Okay, here, let's see here. One cool thing, guys, also about Sabo, if you're not here in the state, is that over the past, I think, when did Sabo start? 2008.
Yes.
yeah, 2008. Yeah, that's right.
The con has grown a lot since then. I believe last year we broke 4,000 people,
Yes, we were
And two, right?
4,200.
and this year we broke that record. We got 5,137 people.
Woo!
So we grew over by 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And we're expecting it to grow to about another like 600 to 700 people by next year. So we'll be close to almost 6,000, man. Who knows, man? We may actually break it.
Suck that, Phoenix Comic-Con.
Yeah, I know. But Sabo is going to move to the downtown Sheraton. Because of
And who called it? Who
You.
called it?
you. But we'll explain here later to why they're moving. And let's go on and jump into preview day, which was Sabo was scheduled for 4 days, but it was technically 3.5 days. Right.
And that's because of research.
Right, exactly. But it turned out pretty well though for Friday. I mean, like the halls were packed, man. We had at least I think around like 2,500 people just for preview day.
Okay, but let's start this off right. We get to the hotel. We get our room. We fuck around for a couple hours in the hotel room while we wait for Derek to get all prettied up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pretty much got raped.
The ladies had their way with him.
Yeah, there's a lot of thumping, there's a lot of giggling, so...
Well, we got pissed off at a non-HDMI TV again. Just waiting for Pervy to use his stand.
Shout out to the hotels who don't have HDMI on their TVs because of fucking movies. You guys need to change your shit up.
He'll be using a stand on you if you don't change that motherfucking policy.
But this time we were smart, man, and we brought our own fucking TVs.
Suck that, Renaissance.
They need to change that policy. They're gonna be missing a TV in the future.
Oh yeah, by the way, they also charge for fucking internet too.
They won't be missing a TV. It's just it won't be in the room. It will be 6 stories down on the floor.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, being charged for internet, man, like $10 a day. I was like, yeah, man,
And,
man, like,
and, that, and that's for the high speed.
Yeah,
Speed was $7.
for
yeah,
just standard.
yeah, no, man, we were all like, yeah, you can suck our assholes.
So after we got everything set up in the hotel room, we walked downstairs to the most irritating things ever. Because we're supposed to check in as panelists.
Yeah.
Because we were running 7 panels at this convention. So we get there, it's 1 o'clock, everybody else is registering. Except, oh yeah, panelists, you guys have to register at 3. So I'm going to need you to come back and do that, along with your TPS reports.
Yeah, exactly.
So we go back up to the hotel room, wait another hour or 2, come back down at 3, and it turns out the motherfuckers in charge were late. So they had a temp come in and set everything up.
And
And
then this,
about 15 minutes later, the one panelist group that was ahead of us, they get their stuff. This other guy comes in and they send him to another table. And the moment we get in there and start registering, the motherfucker's computer decides to restart. So another 15 minutes go by of us just waiting.
and we're like freaking out, man, because like the freaking vendor room was supposed to open up in like 10 minutes, and we're like, dude, we're seriously not even gonna. What?
Or what we thought.
Right. Well, we'll get to that point. So anyway, go on.
So they eventually give us our stuff. I was the first one to get my badge, so I walk over to the VIP registration. I'm like, okay, I'll meet you guys there. Will you guys do that? And have to wait another minute to get the VIP registration. And after that, I take off like I'm the baddest motherfucker you've ever seen, trying to get to the vendor hall because it's about to open up in 3 minutes. Only to get there, and the guy holding the door says, "Oh yeah, it's not opening until 4 today." Like, you don't understand. I'm VIP. Yeah, it opens up at 4 o'clock for everybody.
Yeah, and that's when I started to lose my shit.
Yeah.
You're telling me I just waited an hour in a line to register as a panelist instead of 3 hours early like every other motherfucker in that place. And now you're telling me I have to wait like an average person even though we bought a hotel room here? Just so you could be fair to everybody?
Yeah, and to be fair, that VIP was kind of pointless all weekend long.
Exactly, man, because like almost like a third of our panels were all at the very beginning of the damn days, and we're all like, well, this isn't fucking fair.
So eventually, after everybody that was waiting for the dealer room open to slowly push their way up against the opening doors, they finally let us in. And I was on the hunt for 3 things: a Dakimakura, a wall scroll, and James Perry II's Orange Crows Volume 1. James isn't there, and nobody's selling Dakimakura.
Yeah, which was a big surprise.
Well, there was one person selling Dakimakura, but it was all targeted at women.
Yeah.
So it was all the male characters.
What the heck, man?
Exactly.
So yeah,
I want to
needless
spend my
say, we
50
weren't happy.
bucks.
But yeah, man, I wasn't particularly that happy.
So we get in there, and I'm looking around, and as I'm looking for a Dakimakura, there's this table right at the edge of the front row. And on the display, I see a Pucci Mas, Petite Idolmaster. It's the Haruka and it's the Haruka-san plushie. So I run to the table like a mad motherfucker. Ask them how much it is. They say $25. I get out my card and throw it at them. Shut up and take my money.
I was gonna say those things are fucking expensive, ain't they?
On the
Yeah.
internet, they go for $100, but they were thankfully selling them for $25.
Yeah.
And they only had like 2 of them.
Which I got the other one.
So I
Michael
guess
from Tiger Town was kind of mad about that, from what I remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember going into the dealer room, and the first thing I really needed to grab was it was the booth that was right in front of the doors. It was selling all the wall scrolls. I grabbed my Sailor Mars wall scroll that I've been meaning to get for like ever now. So I finally got that. I'm like, yes.
it's funny. I had them put the Sailor Mercury wall scroll on hold, and I never came back and got it.
Yeah, no, man, you didn't get your Sailor Mercury wall scroll.
Because I mean that table is always going to be there. So if I missed it, it's not as big of a deal.
Yeah, it's true, man. They'll probably be at Tayo.
Hell, they'll probably even be at Kaikori.
Yeah, man, they'll be at Kokori, man. They were there last year.
But yeah, and then they had, and I remember I think we walked around for the short little while that we had, and I pretty much within Friday and Saturday I blew all $400 of the money I had brought with me. I remember buying the same day I got the wall scroll. I ended up buying the
Didn't you buy like an art book?
well, I think that was on Saturday, but I bought Haganai Volume 8 and then Matsukusume Volume 4, which is what I really wanted. I'm thankful for that one booth being there again.
I was gonna say, like, didn't you get Devil's a Part-Timer also on Friday?
Yeah, I got that on Friday too at the Funimation booth. It was a little bit more expensive, but it's another anime marked off my list. And I'm grateful that I bought it because it's really good in dub.
Yeah, man, the dub for that's really fucking good. I don't know if there's, I don't remember getting anything on Friday, did I, guys?
No, you got James's book.
Oh yeah, I did. Man, I got Volume 1 of Orange Crows from James. Once he finally decided to show up fashionably late.
So before our first panel, James had begun setting up. I'm like, okay, once you have everything set up, and after we get done running our panels for today, remind me to grab that manga from you. He's like, okay. So after half an hour of looking through the dealer room, we decide. Oh no, we didn't decide. We pretty much had to leave to go set up for our first panel, which was the Church of Haruhi. So we get in there, and at first everything seemed normal. Projector, there's a screen, the projector's on. So I plug in my laptop. After running all the way back up to our room to go and get everything and get ready for the Church of Haruhi, plug in my laptop into the projector, but I'm noticing two things are missing. A mic and an audio outlet.
AKA the speaker.
So I'm like, okay, no big deal. Someone's obviously going to come around involving tech, and they're going to ask us what we need, and I can tell them, okay, we need this. All of a sudden, it's 5 o'clock. Our panel is to start, and nobody's shown up. So I'm like, thanks a lot, guys. You have just destroyed 15 minutes of this panel that I had set for visual cue. So now I pretty much have to wing majority of the panel. Because audio, just like at Konnichiwa when we ran this panel, was a huge part of this.
Yeah, it was a pretty big majority of the panel that had to do with some audio stuff in it. So I was actually really upset by that because I really wanted to do the audio stuff again because that was probably the legitimate part of our panel to where it would just gather all the fans in and have them laughing around with us while we do this panel.
But thankfully, I didn't decide to bring my disc 2, well, my season 2 box set, because I would have been pissed off because normally I would show the reasoning behind the Endless 8.
Alright.
But besides for that, we actually had a great turnout for the Church of Haruhi. We even had someone cosplaying as Haruhi walk in.
That was a nice surprise.
Yeah. But overall, the panel did go well. Not as good as it could have if we would have had the audio, but
Plus, like, no one wanted to ask questions or anything, hardly.
oh god, no. It's funny. People will be all, oh, you know what would make this panel better? If you would actually let us discuss stuff. Well, you know what would make that better? If when we actually do allow you to discuss stuff, you would actually want to discuss it.
Yeah,
no.
like, they were pretty much just sitting on their hands waiting for just stuff to happen.
Except for that one guy who was cosplaying as Vash.
Yeah.
He was pretty into it.
And what do you call it? Even when we did, like ask them questions and stuff, they still hardly even replied, and we're all like, guys, man, we got to do something here. We're trying to interact with you here, and meet us halfway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall though, I thought it went fairly well.
Yeah, it merits doing doing that panel again.
Yeah, it's true.
So if we get it for Konnichiwa, well, not Konnichiwa, Kaikori-Con, that'll be great. So right after that, I'm feeling pumped up because of the Church of Haruhi, and then we go to our new acquisition panel called the Key Animation Fan Panel that I was so hyped to do because our good friends Time Squad B had run this panel for 2 years or 3 years now, and they had done such a great job with it. I was ready to take this over and actually go in depth with Key about the actual visual novels instead of the anime adaptations of it. We get there. No audio. Again. So I am freaking out again. Just like, come on, you guys. Seriously. Eventually, though, we do have staff come in and say, okay, here's a mic for you to talk with 20 minutes into the panel, but at least we still got a mic.
Right, and at least these people, though, seem pretty cool, man. Like, these guys are actually cool.
Yeah, but the thing that made this just such a disappointment was that we only had 4 people come to this panel.
Yeah, that's true.
Because everybody was continuing to shop in the dealer room.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that I don't like about running panels that early.
It grew from like 4 until we had like 8, and then it just kind of dwindled back down to 4 again.
But the people that were there, though, they were very interactive with us.
Yeah, they knew what Key was, and most of them had played some of the Key visual novels as well, so.
So eventually, though, halfway through the panel, about with a quarter of it left, it turned into the feels of a visual novel, to where we're talking about like Saya no Uta, Steins Gate, School Days.
Exactly.
Because once again, the visuals that were needed for this were kind of taken away by the lack of audio.
Exactly.
Now, what were you gonna say?
Or like I was gonna say, yeah, like we finished up actually a little bit quick on the key on like
the
On
visual
like just the
novel.
key stuff in general. Yeah, man. Like we finished up with like 15 minutes left.
Yeah, and when you don't have many people in there for the panel, you go through the stuff that you had scheduled like that, just like with the Kill la Kill panel that we'll get into later. But when the less people there are, the quicker you're going to go through that stuff because the less people you're going to have to discuss this, and the less opinions you'll have on stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So, if I don't think we're going to submit this for Kaikori, but definitely submit it for Tayo.
Speaking of which, it's something that we need to do tonight after this.
Yep. We will be doing that shortly after this.
Or Saturday morning, one of the two.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But I think the 8 panels that we submitted for Kaikori are good. For now, anyway.
I agree.
So we get done with that, and right now, and at that time is about 7:30.
Yeah.
So we take everything down and we decide, you know what, let's go back into the vendor hall until it closes at about 9 o'clock. Because the scheduling for the first day was just completely out of whack. The back of the badges said 8, but everyone else was hearing like 7:30 or 9 o'clock.
Which
So
should turn
eventually,
out to be 9.
yeah, so
Yeah.
Greg eventually went around saying, okay, it's 9 o'clock. And while we were looking around again, we discover this booth that's right behind the Funimation one.
Yeah.
It was for the first time in an Arizona con or con that I've gone to history, because I know you guys have gone to AX and they have DVD sales.
Oh,
There,
yeah.
there was finally a booth selling anime. And thanks to Pervy, I got Yu Yushiki.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
It's the booth that I kind of lost my interest in at the end of the convention weekend. But it's the first thing I asked them was that if they had Love Live or Watamote in stock, and they said no. It'd probably be sitting in our warehouse right now, but we don't have it here with us.
And plus, Love Live was already sold. Well, it hadn't even gone on sale yet.
Well, like I said, if they had had it there, I would have thrown down the money, no problem, no matter how much it would have been.
Yeah. So I ended up getting Yu Yushiki and Love Lab.
I actually remember I grabbed the second volume of Orange Crows from James Perry II. I'm reading it right now. It's actually picking up right from where the first volume left off. It's really good so far. I'm super glad too. The visuals are like, wow. They're like double what the first manga was.
But yeah, we end up going back to James's booth, and I take out my wallet because I had my hands full of anime and the stuff for the panels. So I hand James my wallet, and I had 2 5s in there. I'm like, just take those out of there, and finally, I'm buying your first volume.
I think that's when I actually bought mine, too, didn't I?
Yeah, because he wasn't set up before our panels.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And just by the way, guys, if you ever see James Perry II at any one of your conventions, you know, in California or somewhere wherever he goes to, buy Orange Crows. That personally is one of the best independent manga I think I've read so far.
And not to mention, man, like his art's pretty damn good too, man.
Yeah, his art's really fantastic.
I mean, like he has a lot of good prints of like Kill la Kill and Persona and all that good old stuff.
Even has prints of Orange Crows too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Also, make sure to visit orangecrows.com.
But we can promote that at the end of the show.
I know. I just wanted to plug it real quick.
Yeah. So we end up going back to the booth that had the Haruka-san. And while I'm kind of looking just off in the distance somewhere, Pervy whispers to me, he's like, hey, you want to go half and half on these two Love Live figures?
Mhm.
Because they had these almost, it wasn't the official Beach Queens, but it was these other beach versions of Honoka. Almost said Haruka because I have Idolmaster on my mind. But Honoka and Nozomi. And
Yeah, you were trying to decide like who should get the Nozomi, who should get Hanukkah.
yeah, but since I wasn't as big a fan as Nozomi, we ended up switching who was going to get who.
Right.
So I ended up getting the Honoka one.
Which I'm glad I did because my the Nozomi I have is actually fitting in pretty well with the Beach Queens I have.
I'm a
So,
like what do you call it here? I was gonna say I'm a newie. Like, what did you get, man? Like, you've been pretty quiet. I'm like, did you get anything on Friday?
Oh, since I had a lack of money, since they spent it mostly on a costume, I talked to the guy with the model kits, and I got two of them for 50.
Oh yeah, that's right, you did.
man, so
That
you
was
were
the hardest.
negotiating on the first day instead of the last one,
Are you trying to be
Dude,
George Costanza?
huh?
yeah, yeah. I was just saying that was some serious negotiating right there. We just talk and talk, and I just threw in like, yeah, this is how much is on this side and this side. Then we started kept talking more and more. It's like this, yeah, I know I didn't bring that much money to the con and shit, and it's like, he's like, oh, because he saw me cosplaying. So, oh, well, you can have these two for 50. I'm like, really? In all reality, I had this smirk in my mind, like, but yeah, I'm bad.
Yeah. What did you get again? The Sandrock and the Wing Custom?
Okay, I got the Master Grade Proto Wing Zero Endless Wallet version, and of course, if nobody knows this, they came out with another one, uh, Sandrock, not custom from the Endless Wallet movies, but it's an Endless Wallet version of it with the shield and the beam machine gun.
Remember that $400 one that some
Oh
other booth was
yeah, man, the
selling?
Neo song.
Yeah, the Neo Song. Yeah.
It's $300 by the way on the site.
So it's a
Yeah,
hundred
that's true
dollars.
too.
Yeah,
But
they
it's
ma-
probably like
they
$50 in shipping.
they that booth. They'll sell cheap manga, but they'll make their money back in selling their figures.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, no joke.
They have no problem taking that $5 you save on a manga and slapping it onto a figure.
Yep, that's true.
No, so I, I also have to thank Phoenix Otaku because he was the one who showed me, or he was the one that told me what booth that they had the Haruka-san at. He showed it to me, and I'm like, dude, where in the hell did you get that? Because I want one. Because I keep seeing pictures of it all over the internet, and I saw one being taken at like a football game here in the States.
Oh, by the way, you just reminded me. I saw 2 days ago. There are two new. There are two new ones.
Which ones?
It's Lori, and I want to say it's Afu.
Awful.
Oh,
Miki!
Let me. I'm gonna have to double check that really quick.
Man, if there's a Poochie of Miki, man, I might break down and get her.
And the moment I go to look it up, my SIM card goes out on my phone.
Man, Miki is like my
tell me. Please tell me Miki Poochie comes with like onigiri. That'd be amazing.
Yes, it would. That'd be awesome.
Dude, it
But,
better.
yeah, anyway, I like ran like a bat out of hell over to the booth where he got it, and I'm pointing to this thing. He's like, "Can I get this? I want this." She's like, "Yeah, just go ahead and like take the clip off of it, take it out of there." I'm like, I don't want this whole thing to fall. Can you like?" She's like, "Oh no, it's fine. You go ahead and do it. It's not gonna go nowhere." I was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna do this real quick." It's like it was like Indiana Jones trying to like take the little tiki idol off the freaking stand and trying to like swallow something heavier.
I finally got my. Okay, and right as I'm looking at it, it pops up. Okay, so it's. Oh wow, there's actually four. Never mind. There's Iori. There's Yayo.
Yayoi!
I want I want her.
There's
I want her.
Takanes. And there's Hibikis.
Hibiki! But there's no Miki, though. Darn it.
Sadly, no.
God, when are we gonna get Chihayas?
When are we going to get some Mikis up in here?
No, you guys are saying it wrong. It's when are we going to get Yukipo? Her and her little box and shovel.
That'd be amazing.
Dude, I would be the first person to buy it, no matter how much money it was. Just be like, here, take it.
And the girl that dug holes.
So what ones were they again?
Okay, so it was Iori's, Yayoi's, Takane's, and Hibiki. Because for some reason I'm forgetting their actual Poochie name.
Well, Iori's was Io, and she had the forehead beam.
Yeah, I'm in the billboard. For
Yayo.
Dead Yayo, which was Yayo. I want that one.
I want to get that one just so I can play rock paper scissors with her.
How much is it?
Huh?
How much is it?
I don't know. This is just something I saw on Twitter.
I want it. But anyway, yeah. Going back to that, I was like, I bought it. I was extremely super happy, and I was just like, oh, thank God! I don't have to drop $100 on it online.
And anybody who went to buy it after they saw me having it is probably pissed off at you now.
I know a lot of people were asking me what it was from, or why it's so adorable, why it's so cute, yada yada, all weekend.
Dude, so many people stopped me just to ask where I got my Haruka-san at.
Yeah.
that and Michael was pretty jealous.
Dude, what was funny about that is I think it was when you guys went to go get something to eat at Carl's Jr. or something like that. No, wait, no, it was after. Okay, yeah, we had just gotten done at Carl's Jr. because at some point I was sweating like a motherfucker, having like some kind of mini panic attack or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we get done at Carl's Jr. and I go ahead of you guys because I wanted to go to the Neptunia screening, and I wanted to look around the vendor hall one last time. As I'm leaving the vendor hall, I'm holding Haruka-san in my. Michael comes up behind me, doesn't even and doesn't put the image together that it's me. So he pretty much forgot. He didn't realize until like a minute after he started talking to me that it was actually me, asking me where I got Haruka-san at. I'm like, I got it right over there, but my friend bought the last one.
The power of the Poochie.
So I go to the room where the screening is, and I walk in there. One of the staff is sitting there. He's like, "Welcome to the blue gender screening." I'm like, this is supposed to be the Hyperdimension Neptunia screening. He's like, "No, that was an hour ago." I'm like, check your schedule. He's like, "Okay, let me see your schedule." I don't have one. So this woman walks in holding the schedule, and he's asking her, "Can I see the schedule?" She's like, so she grabs out her ID because this is an 18+ showing, thinking that he's asking her for her ID. Eventually, after checking her ID, she finally gets the picture that, oh, you want to see the schedule. So he opens it up, gets to 9 o'clock, and sees Hyperdimension Neptunia. He's like, I completely misread the schedule. This is supposed to be Neptunia. And I'm like, so I take it you're not gonna start playing Neptunia? He's like, nope. I'm like, thanks, motherfucker. You you just ruined the one screening I wanted to go to.
Well, that's some of the volunteers or staff, man. Zero fucks were given.
Yeah, but it got later, and
Friday, zero fuck day, pretty much.
I don't know if I bought anything else on Friday. I might have. I don't remember.
No, because when we got to after we bought the Beach Queens, we pretty much went and put everything up in the hotel room, and then went to Carl's Jr. And by the time you guys got back, the vendor hall was closed.
Yeah, and as it got later, we were all back up in the hotel room, just kind of relaxing, and that's when myself and Zombie, we ended up going down to the Vitamin H panel, Hilarious Hentai Dubs. Now, if you guys ever get Vitamin H at one of your conventions in your state, go to their panels. It's a high recommendation for them, because their panels are so well put together, and it's so good.
Yeah, man, they're pretty damn good.
Whereas,
go ahead.
No, you go ahead first.
So they got Tunes That Go Bump in the Night, which is when they talk about all their different horror animes that are out there right now. Then there's the Hilarious Hentai Dubs, which gather up some of the most worst/best dubs of all time in hentai history. They've got the Takashi Miike Torture Fest, where they talk about Takashi Miike's screwed up movies, pretty much. And then they, what was the other one? They ran a samurai-based panel as well, if I remember.
No. They were talking about running a ninja panel.
What was the other panel that they ran? Because they ran like 4 or 5 panels that weekend.
One of them was another like hentai one. I forgot what it was called. I keep forgetting. Like the schedule's in my is in that suitcase right there, Timmy. It's on the very top. The little top piece right there. That's the.
I'm not getting up to get it.
Alright.
But anyway, while you guys went to the Hilarious Hentai Dub, I stop in this room that was showing I Ship It right before Hilarious Hentai starts. I walk in there, and it's a group of 5 people on stage, and I don't even stay in there long enough to try and understand what the hell's going on there, because I'm furious at the hotel for fucking up Hyperdimension Neptunia, and just generally pissed off at them because they took our panel. So, well, Pervy and Zombie went to the Hilarious Hentai Dub. Me and Nui were just sitting at what was one of the information tables outside of the gaming room. Oh, which reminds me, right before the vendor hall closed, before we even went to Carl's Jr., I was looking for what I thought was a wall scroll for the Idolmaster. After I get back into the vendor hall, I finally find it. It's the same booth that we bought. Well, that I pretty much bought all my figures at this weekend, which was run by the lady at Sabaku.
Yeah.
And it turns out it's the Idolmaster bed sheet.
Yeah, she didn't have the Love Live rubber stamp keychains like she did at Sabaku, unfortunately, this time.
Sadly.
Yeah, man, I'd have bought some more, man, if she had had them.
So I bought that from her, and while you guys were at the Hilarious Hentai Dubs, for like 20 minutes, me and Nui are just sitting at this table with my Idolmaster stuff just laying out there, including the Haruka-san just sitting on the table.
Yep.
And then eventually, we decide, let's go back up to the hotel room. But instead of taking the elevator, let's try and find some motherfucking stairs.
Oh, Jesus.
So we run up this fucking staircase. Well, no, we walk up there. We get to the 2nd or 3rd floor, and we're already worn out.
It's a lot of fucking stairs.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
It was probably like the scene from Ghostbusters. Like, how many floors is this?
He's like 30.
So we finally get back into the hotel room, and we're just sitting there waiting for you guys to get back. And I'm like, because I was nervous as hell for the idol panel for some unknown reason. I'm just like, this is the one panel I'm just on edge about. So I'm like, I'm gonna go down there and just walk around, clear my mind a minute. Step right out the door, and Pervy and Zombie show up outside of the elevator because the panel was over. Like, never mind then.
Then the misadventures of day number 2.
No.
Well, getting back to the hilarious hentai stuff, yeah. Myself and Zombie, we pretty much sat near the back end of the room. It was pretty effing packed. I'm not gonna lie. There's people sitting behind us on the
It
floor
was,
and everything.
yeah, man, like, it was pretty much a packed room.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was almost the same panel as Sabaku, but with little differences here and there. They did a lot of different stuff on there. It was pretty cool. I mean, it was still just as funny. They kept the one hentai that was pretty much the reunion for the cast of Evangelion,
Ray
and
Ray.
they added in like I think that I don't know if they added it in or not, but they kept in Duchess of Busty Mounds, The Times of Screw 1 and 2. Bible Black, just all the different hilariously bad hentai dubs out there. And of course, the one part comes up that myself and Phoenix Otaku remember the most about that panel was the giant dude who was screwing the building. He's like, "Is that Titan?"
That and the lady was on the fucking head of his dick, like, going back and forth.
Well, if I had actually gone to that panel again, because from what I heard it was packed and I didn't think I was going to get in there, I would have gone in there, and right as it got silent before they start showing stuff, I would have yelled out again, "Anal beads," like I did at Sabaku. Anal beads.
But yeah, then I remember because I was about to make that stupid joke of when that big guy showed up, I was like, "Is that a Titan?" There was like a pop-up bubble on screen that said, "And that day, humanity receives a grim reminder." I was like, "Yes, thank you, finally."
Is that a tight?
Of course, you got your Time to Screws, which are probably I thought Bible Black was bad, but man, Time to Screw was bad. But it's
Well,
funny though.
the funny thing about this, because I actually looked into this a little bit, they didn't even translate it from the actual Japanese.
So
They
they just
made up their own shit.
so they said screw the script and just do it over again like they did with Ghost Stories.
They
I know
pretty
that's
much abridged it.
Oh wow.
Because there's apparently like a deep story in the actual Japanese version, and then the English version is just, I hate your hat, and Einstein's a faggot.
The conundrum of big balls in your face.
And the turd winding its way through the universe.
And
And like a turd, the smell was not to be forgotten.
Jesus.
Einstein's an asshole that dropped a bomb on like the whole bunch of Japanese.
He built a bomb and killed a bunch of Japanese.
No shit, Mr. Obvious.
Which, and of course, now realizing that they just made up their own shit, no wonder why they got away with it in Japan, because that's not in the Japanese version.
Oh man, if Discotech picked that up, that'd be amazing. I'd have to literally throw down the money for it just to say I have it. It's like owning School Days, man. You want to throw down the money for it just to say you have it.
Yep.
Oh, that would be amazing. But yeah, that was pretty much it for our night. After that,
Well,
we
there was a few more things. After that, we sit in the room for like a half an hour.
yeah.
You and Derek and I think Adrian threw down a shot of Fireball, and we're just like, you know what? Let's go down and see if they are playing Cards Against Humanity.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, shout out to these assholes who sat at the same table all fucking weekend.
So we get down there, and Vitamin H is playing it. While we're sitting at this table just waiting, and waiting, and waiting. Eventually, I'm just like, let's go to this panel called The Worst Anime and see if they're actually talking about legitimate, horrible anime. So we walk in there, and it's this one guy and Michael. And they're talking about the worst boss fights.
Yes.
And that's when we learn about reasons why we should play Akiba's Trip.
Yeah.
Not just the game itself being crazy, but because of the DLC and shit too.
Dude, and one of the levels being Idle Disaster.
Yeah.
That was the Hyperdimension Neptunia DLC.
That they also have like a Genshiken DLC, which was fucking awesome. I was like, dude, this is more of a reason for me now to get the PS Home and get the fucking game and shit.
So then, anyway, after that panel, we go back up to our hotel room where Timmy falls asleep. But me, Zombie, Adrian, and Nui decide to stay up until almost 3 o'clock in the morning, laughing our ass off at lemon meringue pie.
You asshole.
Oh gosh, lemon meringue.
The
And
nuisance.
why people that work at Walmart are assholes.
Thank
Well,
you.
just stories of just funny shit that happens at Walmart.
Why
Thank
you
you.
asshole?
Why are you so asshole? Oh no.
Man, these guys sound like some racist assholes right now.
No, you. This is literally shit you gotta hear at 2:30 in the morning. This is actual shit that happened to our friend Adrian while he was working at Walmart. So we're not being racist when we're actually telling you true stories that became inside jokes that lasted for the rest of the weekend, along with our cornbread story from Sabaku, which you could hear about in episode 7.
I know, like I think it went from cornbread to the lemon meringue pie.
So eventually it gets to like 2:40 and Timmy wakes up and, well, not, but Pervy wakes up and pretty much says, guys, it's 2:30. We have a panel first thing in the morning. Go the fuck to sleep.
And to be brutally honest, I wasn't trying to be like a jerk or anything, but I was actually being like legit serious. I wanted us to get enough rest so we could do this idle panel the right way.
I know. So at that point, we're all just like, okay. And then we fall asleep and get ready for day 2. But before we go into day 2, you guys want to take like a quick 5-minute break?
That is perfectly fine with me.
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll be back in 5 minutes. Keep it right here. You are listening to the MSDF LiveCast.
I am back. Sadly. Just the only one. Son of a bitch.
And I'm back.
Well, I just got back, you jackass.
And I am back.
Alright, and I am back.
Let's do
Anyway,
it.
welcome back to the MSDF LiveCast, episode 8, Sabo Con Lucas, where we are going deep into our adventures at the biggest southwestern convention known as Saboten. We had just finished up preview day, otherwise known as day 1, and are beginning and waking up Saturday morning to experience day 2, which started at about 9:30. So we
Yeah.
wake up because normally what we're used to going to these conventions is going down to the dealer hall and it being open at 10. So we're thinking, okay, VIP half an hour early. We get to get in there at 9:30. We get down there. Once again, people at the door say, "Oh no, this year every day it's opening at 11." So you guys get to come in at 10:30. Well, the
Man.
thing for us is we have to be in our panel room 20 minutes early. So we'd only have 10 minutes to look around the vendor hall. So we decide, you know what, screw it. Let's just go back up and hang out in our hotel room. And eventually, one of our friends who had gone to the con said they're letting people in at 10.
Oh yeah, that's right, man. Jen did give me a call, and she was like, "Hey, they're letting people in right now." And of course, me and Lane are like, "Are you fucking kidding?" After we just come back up here like 15 minutes ago. So by this time, we're fucking pissed.
So at this
Yeah.
point, we're just like, okay, you know what? My mind's set on our first panel, our only panel for today, which is a guide to idol anime, which was a panel I was so nervous about, like I had just said in the first segment. So we decide, okay, let's just go down there 40 minutes early or 45 minutes early and set up. And they put us in the smallest room in there, the Cascada room, Cascada B.
Now, like, it was just you and me though that had went. I think Timmy and Derek were gonna just stay up in the room and shit until like 10
Yeah.
minutes till, and then just
Well,
head down.
myself and Derek, we ended up going over into the vendor room again
Oh, okay.
before we went to our panel.
So we get down there. I open the door. I look in there, and there is one table on one wall, one table on the other wall, 5 chairs against one wall,
And that's
but
fucking.
there is no projector, there's no screen, there's no audio, there's no other chairs. And at this point, I fucking lost it. Because, for one, it's an idle panel. You would think that we would need visuals for it. So I fucking lost it. Went on Twitter and pretty much said, "Thank you, Sabo, for fucking over our panel."
Yep, and I pretty much did the same thing through the MSDF. And then, of course, we were steamed, man. We're just coming up with reasons like, man, like everything so far for this con has gone wrong for us and stuff.
Mhm.
And then finally, I was like, you know what, dude? I'm gonna go see if I can go try and get this fixed. Do man, because I'm not gonna look like a fucking fool, dude. So anyway, I go up to information, and and Greg just happens to be there, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna grab him right now. And anyway, I go up to him, and I'm like, Greg, I'm about to lose my shit, dude. I was like, everything that went wrong for our panels and stuff, and for our Guide to Idol anime. I was like, dude, we literally have nothing down there in our thing. And he's all like, what are you talking about? I was like, we literally have nothing. We have no audio, we have no speaker, we have no projector, we have no screen, we have 5 chairs, and that's it. And he's like, okay, cool, man. I'll come down here with you and we'll figure this out. And so, what do you call it? I had told him, I was like, dude, all this stuff has happened and went wrong and all this stuff. And then that's when we really learn what was actually going on, because we had heard rumors and stuff that the hotel wasn't cooperating. And so, Greg, pretty much confirmed it. Mainly because the con was leaving and the hotel manager was being a complete prick and wouldn't let the con use their stuff. And so Greg was trying to find different stuff, and like once one panel ended, if there wasn't anything that really needed visuals, they would get that moved to another room and stuff. And that's when we learned all this. And so then like he had asked me, hey, would you mind, like not saying that stuff on Twitter and stuff, because it makes us look bad when it's not really like our fault. So I took the stuff down off of our Twitter for the MSDF, and Greg pretty much got shit done, man. Like he pretty much got us everything we needed within like 20 minutes.
Here's the thing though, everything we needed was in the room at 10 minutes before the panel was to start.
Right, and I had walked in like 20 or so minutes or half hour beforehand. I walk in, I'm like, okay, so where the fuck is all the chairs? Where the fuck is our screen? Where the fuck is our projector? What the hell is going on here? I know I almost went over and flipped the table that was sitting in front of them. And they're like, oh, well, it's fine. We got Greg taking care of everything. I'm like, all right, this better fucking work out.
So they get the projector set up, and we get it. But the thing is, the people, they cannot figure out how to get the audio to work. And I'm like, oh, God. No. This needs to work. And our panel was at this point, our panel was supposed to start 10 minutes ago. It was already 10 minutes into our panel. So I look over at Zombie and Pervy, I'm like, do any of you have a portable speaker? Thankfully, Pervy had his.
I had just forgotten about mine.
So I hook it up to my laptop, and we had audio. And our friend Michael joined us for this panel because he is the biggest idol expert out of all of us.
He is the idol master.
Well, like he is the idol master for idol master.
Yeah.
So anyway, we do get the panel started. It's about 15 minutes into when our panel was supposed to start, but because we wanted it to be dark so people could close to see the screen and see everything clearly, we had to shut the doors. Now, and I had talked to people who were going to go to our idol panel. The main door for our panel was locked. The one that actually had a sign that said Cicada B. So people couldn't get in to our panel because that door was locked.
And when they had to use the opposite door, which half the time the people just walked by and they didn't even know that that was the door into there.
Because it was covered up by this pillar that was there for the elevators, of course.
Right.
But we still had a good turnout. Everybody had a great time.
That we had the glow sticks, and the glow sticks were really cool, man. That's a really good thing, man, is to have the glow sticks.
Yeah, okay, let's put it this way. We had some cheap 98-cent glow sticks that worked about 20 times better than a bag of $27 glow sticks. Okay, shout out to Party City for that. Thank you so much. I want my refund.
Exactly. And, man, like, the portable speaker turned out to be decent, man.
Yeah.
Still, though, like, can you imagine, like, the ambiance if we would have had that, bigger speaker and everything? Oh, my gosh, man. That would have been
Thankfully,
great.
the size of the room helped with the small speaker. If it had been one of the Solana rooms, we would have been screwed.
Yes, because this room was literally It's literally I think like 20 feet by like 20. It's not that big of a room.
Yeah, it's super small.
Yeah, like it was literally the size of like two like master bedrooms. That's it.
So we get done with the idle panel, and we finally go into the vendor hall, hang out with James for a little bit, and then I don't remember what you guys did after this, but you guys went off somewhere. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stick around the vendor
Like
hall.
what do you call it? Like, didn't we stop by the information desk to see where Greg was, and we thanked him, and gave us like the bro shakes and everything, man. We gave him the bro shakes and all that shit, and
Yeah.
we're like, thanks, man, thanks for coming through for us. And
Yeah.
man, but that's when you have a director, man, that knows what they're doing and cares about their panelists.
Yes.
So, Greg, if you somehow listen to this, man, thank you once again.
But so anyway, we hang out in the vendor hall for half an hour as a group or so, and then you guys take off somewhere. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna hang around here for a bit.
Yeah, I think we all headed up back to the room just to chill and relax for a little bit.
All right.
Yeah, like I think we did.
So I end up staying down there, and of course, talked to a few people that I had either met at previous cons or just happened to meet.
What
And
the
then
hell does that
after,
mean?
huh?
It sounded like something was like rubbing up against something.
Oh, so, well, I don't know. I don't remember if I ended up buying something or not. I think I did actually. Oh wait, no, it was the Hyperdimension Neptunian art book.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
we're forgetting something very important here. Is directly after almost, yeah, around about 2 o'clock is when myself and Dewey, we went to go line up in line for, I believe it was Ian Sinclair, if I remember,
Oh yeah.
when he
Uh,
autographed stage.
Actually, that was leading up to this too.
Yeah, it was Ian
So this was
Sinclair.
at the same time.
Yeah,
Quit moving your phone, whoever's doing that.
it was Ian Sinclair, Derek Stephen Prince, and Lauren Landa.
Hmm.
It was there. I got all 3 autographs or whatever. That's when I also told Ian that tomorrow we've got their Space Dandy panel, yada yada.
Okay.
So, and then I saw this figure down in the artist alley. It was a Toka figure from Data Live. And I'm thinking, okay, since it's at a place where people can actually get a hold of it and look at it, it shouldn't cost that much. The price is on the back of it. It's $150. And this is a perfect example of just soul getting crushed. Just
Well, man, it was a really nice detailed figure, though.
yes.
I forgot which company it was by, and it was like a 1/7, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then if I would have brought more money, there was this Ami Futami figure that I would have bought for $125.
Yeah, they were the Idolmaster, what, like second stage, right?
No, you're thinking of the Nendroid Petites. The Nendroid Petites are the ones that come in the stages.
Okay, yeah, because they had these really nice looking Idolmaster figures there. They had Ami, Makoto, and
Well, they had Ami, the ones that they had out first, because they put out the Makoto one later in the convention. They had they had Ami Futami, they had Takane, and then they had Miki, all of which were for $125.
which was a soul-crushing price. Because if I had more money, I would have bought that Makoto one, no problem.
And because earlier I had asked her if she had any other Idolmaster stuff. So she comes up to me and she's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, here's this plastic poster that we have for Idolmaster." And they had two of them. They had one with Iori and her group, and then they had this one with Yukiho and Chihaya. And for anybody that doesn't know me, or for anyone that actually does know me, they know that I'm a Yukiho producer. So I buy this Yukiho poster, the Yukiho and Chihaya one, for $20, and never regretted it. I was actually going to go back and buy the other one, but I generally forgot about it until after the convention was over.
Also, Lane, do you keep typing on your laptop?
No.
What the hell is that sound?
I have no idea.
I have no clue.
I keep hearing this sound.
Yeah, myself and Dewey were going to.
Could you talk more into your phone to me, man? I can't hear you.
Myself and Dewey were going to the autographs area for to get autographs from everybody. Of course, in my infinite wisdom, I decided to flare the space station open as we're walking by. Ian Sinclair just decides to look up. He's like, points at me. He's like, that guy. That guy is awesome. I just like pointed back. We're VIP at that point, so we're somewhat ahead of the line. They have the $500 club.
Fuck you.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly. But yeah, we got up there. We got our autographs.
We
Hello?
lost him. We lost you.
Yeah, man, we lost you.
I can't hear you besides right next to me.
Yeah, you're not coming through.
Yeah, man, he ain't coming through at all.
Yeah.
So give us just 1 minute.
Wow, dude, that's loud.
No, man, I can't hear you.
I'm not here. I'm gonna go turn down the air here. Sorry about this, guys.
It looks like we're going to have to re-invite Pervy.
Yeah, probably.
So I guess sit tight with us for a minute.
Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Alright,
we can
yes,
hear you.
finally. We have audio. Unlike the first day of the convention, we have audio.
But yeah, back to what I was saying. We were going through the line. Got up to Ian. Talking to him for a little bit. Got his autographs. Told him about our Space Dandy panel, on Sunday. He's like, "Oh, you guys are having a Space Dandy panel tomorrow too?" I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be in so and so, yada yada." He's like, I'm gonna see if I'm doing anything at that point, and I'll try to make it over there. I'm like, "Oh shit, really cool, thank you."
Yeah, man, that was pretty fucking cool.
And then, walked down the line. We met Derek Stephen Prince. For those of you who don't know, he now plays Guts in the Kill la Kill dub, but he also plays Shino in Naruto. He plays Uryu in Bleach, and so on and so forth. He plays like Demimon, Demi-Vmon, so on and so forth.
Gutso!
Yeah, we finally, get down there. I'm talking with Derek Stephen Prince about Shino for a couple minutes. It's really fun just to get to meet all the guests. We were moving along, and that's I forget when it was. 'Cause it was after that we decided to go back up to the hotel room for like the longest time. It was either that or we went and got lunch somewhere. I forget.
I don't know, like, did we do our Little Caesars run on Saturday or Sunday?
No, that was Saturday, and this was at about 6 o'clock. But before that, the greatest thing happened. Me and Zombie are hanging out. And I forget what we were doing. Oh, wait, we were looking for Pervy and Nui. So we're like, okay, Alexis Tipton is doing her autographs at this time. They might be in line for this because I remember them talking about it. As we walk into that area, there is someone standing in line, and they are the next person to get their autographs. They're standing in the autograph line, and they are cosplaying as Noir from Hyperdimension Neptunia. So I walk up to her, I'm like, after you get your stuff signed, can I get a picture? And thankfully she said yes. So for the first time in any convention I've gone to, finally saw someone cosplaying Hyperdimension Neptunia.
But
Yeah, like, that was pretty cool.
yeah, it was shortly, like we were just kind of like up in the hotel room relaxing, and then we went down here to get our stuff signed, and that's when I actually talked with Alexis for a little bit, because I was kicking myself by the time I got to the front of the line because I had forgotten that I forgot to bring fucking Hog and I with me, and I'm still fucking kicking myself about that.
Really?
She plays,
You did bring it.
she plays Rika in Hog and I for the dub.
Oh my
And
god.
I was talking to her for a little bit. I told her, I really enjoyed her role as Honey in Space Dandy, and and I got into Rika. She kind of chuckled because Rika was just one of those roles that made her go like, "What the hell am I saying here?" And I was talking to her about some of my favorite lines. Of course, Rika saying "Universe," and then she did that like really quietly. I'm like, mission accomplished because I love that line. And then, I was talking to her about the roller coaster scene in season 2 of Hog and I, and now she did that, blah, 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 you better ejaculate at the speed of light, blah, blah, blah. She did that in like one take, and I'm still like baffled by that because one take for that, holy crap.
Dude, man, I wish she could have like redone that Gundam Dojin thing that she was doing. Yeah, that part was fucking hysterical.
Yeah, the Ava Gundam cross dojin.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, Nui?
Yeah.
You were wanting to say something?
Yes, I got my guilty crown
Signed by her. It was awesome. And my picture taken.
I was gonna say she's Inori, correct?
Yeah, she is Inori.
Yeah, she was Inori in Guilty Crown.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna share this that
More now.
Man, you know what? I'm surprised you still haven't gotten yet. It's still Strike Witches, but anyway, that's besides this point.
Yeah, that is besides the point.
But it was shortly after that signing is when myself and Nui, we got lined up for the probably one of the best panels on Saturday. The Notorious Albert Wesker erotic fan fiction show, which was hosted by DC Douglas, aka the voice of Albert fucking Wesker.
Really quick, well, when you guys went down to do that, me, Adrian, and Zombie just stayed up in the hotel room getting ready for the otaku closet while watching the first episode of Beck.
Yes, watching some Beck, man, drinking some Fireball. You do not fuck with my hood. You do not fuck with people in my hood. Dude, I love that part.
We got in there. It was pretty much a packed house. Myself and Nui were sitting there. Of course, our friend Colin was actually behind us, in the row behind us. Me and Nui were sitting there listening to some of these stories. I mean, good grief, Charlie Brown. Wow, these people went into detail. And it's the fact that DC Douglas, he played the role of Wesker himself, and he had the other people play the other characters.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
There were the people who were doing that were actually pretty good at what they were doing because, wow. But the one that kind of threw me off was the fucking Wesker and Sonic cross fiction. I had no fucking idea that existed. That kind of blew my mind.
He stuck the spike up my ass.
No, and then as soon as I heard DC Douglas was like, "Oh yeah, this is the one I wrote of my own," I'm like, "Wait, what? You wrote an Albert Wesker fanfiction of your own?" And go figure, it was Wesker having a talking penis, and couldn't get it up for a fangirl, and eventually it came down to pretty much his talking penis just fucking getting him off because he was just praising him constantly.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And since you guys didn't attend it, you probably missed out on the best panel of the early afternoon on Sunday. I mean, that was one of my favorite panels all weekend.
If it wasn't for the Otaku Closet, we would have.
Yeah, man, we would have been there.
So anyway, while you were doing that, at close to 6:30, me and Zombie and originally Adrian, we walked down to the Otaku Closet, which wasn't going to start until 7. So we decided we're going to scope out stuff for about 15 minutes early, right before the staff that was working the Otaku Closet started pushing all of us away from the Otaku Closet.
They don't start till 7.
I come across these two women that are selling these Hatsune Miku figures. I ask them how much. They tell me the price. I'm like, okay, can you hold on to these until they start? They're like, okay. So they push us. The staff push us out. 7 o'clock comes in. I rush directly there. Well, Zombie goes to this one box. Well, this one area, 2 stalls down, that was selling DVDs, and I get these 2 Hatsune Miku figures for $45.
It's a steal, man.
Yes, considering that Hatsune Miku figures usually go for like $45 on their own.
Yep, that's true.
So while Zombie's buying his DVDs, and I'll let him explain what he got here in a minute after I say this, I'm walking around and I see somebody selling this wall scroll. And for some reason, my stupid mind thinks it's a Kami Ga Kill at first, not realizing that there's probably not anything a Kami Ga Kill as far as merch yet. Get a better look at it, and it's Rosario plus Vampire. Only then do I notice that the person selling this is our good friend Michael. Like, oh, hey.
Oh, Michael.
So he forgot me yesterday, well, the day before, and I returned the favor by spacing out the very next day. So I buy this wall scroll from him for like $15. And of course, everything I bought this weekend I have posted up on Twitter. And then he shows me this Kuroyuki Hime figure that he sells me for $10. So I'm like, yes. Here you go. And before the Otaku Closet even starts, we have to find an ATM machine. And we finally find it. And I had the most idiotic moment I think I've ever had at a convention. I forget what the personal identification number, otherwise known as PIN, I forgot what the fuck that meant.
No.
So I'm looking at the back of my card and I type this number that's in the back of my card thinking that this was the number. Only then do I actually go back and look at it and it's like, oh.
My
That's
name
what you
is
meant.
Lane Justin.
You want me to do it?
Man, because he was like, man, I feel fucking stupid.
So then if
Hey.
I didn't feel even stupider, the next thing I do is because I'm used to ATMs having the type in how much cents you want. So I type in, because I'm only going to take out 140, I type in 1, 4, 0, 0. I eventually look at it, I'm like, there's no decimal point here. I'm about to withdraw $1,400 from an account that only has about 500 in it.
Sheesh.
So you would think that I had never seen an ATM in my damn life.
Shane.
There's a little bit of shame in all of us every time we go to a con. I wonder which one of you two it's going to happen to when we go to Kaikori.
Isn't this where Zombie got the Ninja Slayer poster too?
Yes. What it was is that Michael had these things that came directly from Trigger themselves, these Ninja Slayer posters, and
So
he
that
was
means
giving
he went
away
to
for
he
$50.
he went to Expo this year, so that's why he probably had him.
Yeah.
So he was giving away for $15, or if you bought 2 items from him, he'd give you one for free. I was like, okay, I bought 2 items, so, and I know Zombie wanted it, so I'm like, I turned him like, if you want it, you can have it.
I was like, sweet bitch. But before all that, though, I had found volumes 1 through 3 of Genshiken Season 2. And so he's like, or like the guy that was selling them was like, $3 per DVD. And I was like, shit, man, this is still cheaper than Right Stuff. I was like, take my money. And so I got volumes 1 through 3 of the second season of Genshiken, and I picked up the whole little like OVA collection for Alien 9 since Adrian was wanting it ever since he went to the Tunes Go Bump in the Night, because that show is somewhat creepy with its alien crap.
I know.
That show, oh my god. By the middle of the second episode, because I remember we were watching it after the Otaku Closet, I had lost what the fuck was going on. And
Yeah,
by
man,
episode 3, they're going to the beach. I'm like, what the fuck is going on
yeah,
here?
man, it's a really fucking weird little show.
So I need to go back and watch it.
But so yeah, I got that. What else did I get? Did I get anything else at the Otaku Closet? I don't think I did. Yeah. Oh, well, other than the fact that I almost bought the whole season of, or like the whole series of Die Guard, all they needed was Volume 1. They had Volumes 2 through 6. But they didn't have Volume 1. I was like, dude, if you'd have had Volume 1, I'd have bought the whole collection, because it's hard to find the actual collection volume by volume. And so, he didn't have it, but, I think I still should have bought it anyway, so that way I could have just bought Volume 1 offline or something. But, oh well. But yeah, then I went over to where I saw Michael, and Lane was over there, and as Lane had said, he had bought, like 2 things, and I was like, dude, they have Ninja Slayer. I was like, dude, I want this poster, because I know this show's going to be fucking crazy when it comes out. He's like, okay. Oh yeah, not to mention that Michael was in his boobies get-up. He was in, like, his fucking, like, chaps and shit. Well, not chaps, but almost seemed like chaps, man. Like, his whole ass was hanging out. That and his bra, and all that shit. I was like, Michael, is that you? He's like, yep, it's me. I was like, what the fuck, man? He's like, dude, man, I got motorboated by Ian Sinclair. I was like, what the fuck? He motorboated your man boobs?
After we get done at the Otaku Closet and Pervy and Nui get done at the fanfic, we're all hanging up in the hotel room, and
actually, I have something like right after that. Myself and Nui, we actually, once we left the Albert Wesker panel, we popped in over to the room that was next to it, into the Rooster Teeth panel. For those that know me or don't know me, I'm an extremely huge fan of like all the stuff on Rooster Teeth, like just all the Let's Plays, Ruby, and even Achievement Hunter. I love Achievement Hunter guys. I wish I had their job. I'm always jealous of them. But we go into this panel, and I want to see if these people have done their research. It's a group of 5 girls. Okay, they go through everything. They know who the founders of Rooster Teeth are. They know all the They know all the stuff. They know who the achievement hunters are. They show some stuff that was at RTX, and they, needless to say, they've done their research. Now, the one thing that threw me off and kind of made me mad was that they were like, "Oh, guys, by the way, kind of keep it on the low key with all the, the comments of like, Markna, let's play, just like all that other stuff that they said in like Achievement Hunter and Rooster Teeth videos and everything." I'm like, you're running a Rooster Teeth panel and you don't want people to start shouting catchphrases and shit. Isn't that not what a Rooster Teeth panel is for? I mean, that's just one thing that threw me out. But we were in there for about half hour before, I was like, all right, dude, come on, let's go. We're going to go back up to the hotel, see if they're back yet. And that's when we met up again.
And then that's when what else did we do? Because I know that me and Adrian went to the
Well, the thing is that we were gonna chill in the hotel room for a little bit because we were worn out. So Pervy and Nui come back. They take a couple shots of Fireball and then go down to the Cards Against Humanity room.
Yeah,
again.
my ass.
Trying to motivate us before they left to go with them. Telling us to get off our ass and come down with them and play Cards Against Humanity.
Well, so much for that. Shout out to the tabletop room for only having one set.
Yeah,
good job, guys.
That fucking boggles my mind. They have an entire event for Cards Against Humanity, and they only bring one thing. Because that makes fucking sense.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
So if you'd like to fund the MSDF getting a Cards Against Humanity set, please go to our Kickstarter at...
Not actually a Kickstarter.com.
But I think after that was what? How to Draw Sexy Women, I think?
Yeah, so at that point, Pervy and Nui came back up, and they're just like, you guys go on ahead. So me, Zombie, and Adrian go down to one of the greatest panels of the weekend, and one of my favorite panels to go to every single weekend. Well, every single convention, and it's How to Draw Sexy Women by our good friend Armin, who we actually got commissions done, who we actually had do commissions for us. For anyone following me on Twitter, you saw my Karome from A Comic a Kill.
And mine I couldn't show because it's 18 and up.
So direct market him if you actually want to see it, but I have my Karome one. If you want a better look at the Karome one, direct message me and I'll send you a picture of it. But anyway, we go to his panel, and just like with the fanfic panel, it's too bad that Pervy and Nui had to miss this, because this was funny as hell.
Yeah, it was. Well, myself and Nui, we kind of we were crashing out after the Albert Wesker panel. We stuck, and we kind of had our hopes dashed by the stupid fucking tabletop room. And we were just kind of sitting, relaxing up in the bed or up in the hotel room or whatever. I was like, dude, I'm fucking bored. I'm gonna turn on the TV, see what's on. We're flipping channels. First thing, I end up stopping on Killing Them Softly with Dave Chappelle. And for those that know, that's Dave Chappelle's best stand-up. It's his funniest stand-up, and every time it's been on, I've watched it, and I've never missed it yet. It's still so funny. We were just kind of chillaxing up there or whatever, And then while you guys were at the How to Draw Sexy Women panel.
So, anyway, after the Sexy Women panel, we go back up to the room, then we go to Carl's Jr. just to grab a drink or so.
Oh, yeah.
And we run into Time Squad B, and like, okay, we'll see you at your I Feel Ya panel tonight. So we go back up to the hotel room and grab Nui, who wanted to go to the I Feel Ya panel.
And I
Well,
wanted to go to the Dojin 101 panel.
yeah, you and Adrian went to that. So anyway, me and Nui are sitting there waiting for this panel to start.
Oh
And
god.
this one guy that we know who usually does DJ at the raves. Well, he pulls out his laptop, and for about half of the panel, we watch this, and I'm not going to go into detail, but it's pretty much live action Lucky Star.
Quote unquote action.
Yes,
Porn.
highly high action, high impact action.
High action finger
Yeah.
banging.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Not even go into
Remember the-
details.
Uh,
But before this panel actually started, though, we were talking to Time Squad B, and just they were just having a shit time at the convention as well. But they were blaming it more on the actual con instead of the hotel.
Right. Which shouldn't, like, which isn't right, because, man, like, it's not the con's fault, that they couldn't get, like, half of the fucking equipment.
I mean, I'm understanding that. Like I said, I'm just explaining it from what
Right.
their
Right.
side.
I understand that.
So anyway, after that, so we finish watching this live action Lucky Star, and we actually start paying attention to the panel. And be and because of the panel, we're not technically allowed to talk about about the stuff that is brought up during that panel from other people.
My ass.
But by the end of this panel, me and Nui are just disturbed out of our mind from this one person, and because of the way the panel goes, we are not going to say what it was.
Really?
Well, that something paid me a visit in another panel. Fucking scared the shit out of me.
You gotta respect the panel.
Well, that's
Respect
one
the
thing,
rules
but
of the
we're not
panel.
going to tell the dude's name or anything.
I don't even know his name.
if you want to know the story, message Nui or Phoenix Otaku across Twitter. They'll DM you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll DM you about that shit. Creepy time.
So after that, we end up leaving the panel. We end up running back into Zombie and Adrian back up at the hotel room. And me, Derek, oh no, Nui and Zombie, we're gonna go to Carl's Jr. again, but instead of it being a 24-hour, it's a 24-hour drive-through.
First, can I tell what my panel was like?
Yeah, actually, yeah, go ahead. I forgot that you didn't go first on that, so yeah, go ahead.
So, as they were in the I Feel You panel, me and Adrian, we decided to go to the Doja 101 panel. And we really haven't ever had any, well, this year, for like adult, like panels and so forth, there was a lot of pretty good to decent stuff. And so we're like, okay, well, there's never been a Dojin panel here, so let's go and let's find what's going on here. And it's these two ladies, and or young ladies, sorry. They're no younger, or they're no older than probably 20. So so what the panel was about is pretty much kind of like an introduction to like dojins and stuff. Like what are the certain, tags or genres, if you would. Like where can you buy them? Where are you most likely to see them? And so on and so forth. And all throughout the or like all. What the hell is that noise?
That was just me readjusting in this chair.
Okay. Anyway, so they did a pretty good job about that. But the thing that kept reoccurring is at the house, she was all like, "Yeah, like I am like a scan later and all that other stuff," and so like I have my ways of getting my hands on stuff and all that stuff. But she had said at one point, because like he kept telling her about like EX hentai and all that good old stuff, and I was all like, "Go there. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. It's like you can pretty much find everything there. Within like Dojin related, like CG scan related of games and stuff. So on and so forth." Okay, so anyway, we're like 45 minutes into this, and then she had said something of like, well, this is where you can really find like a lot of these dojins and stuff, and one of them was e-hentai. Now, the only reason why e-hentai exists pretty much is so that way like the EX hentai site can be, found and signed through and all that stuff. I'm not going to tell you how to go through all this stuff because you all can find that stuff on the internet, and I want it to remain a good site for all of us that love dojins and all that. So anyway, point being, she says, okay, this is where I find a lot of my stuff. And I said, so why don't you go on EX Hentai? And and her reply is, well, I don't want to sign up for it and go through all the hassle. And so I said, so wait a minute. You don't want to take 2 to 5 minutes out of your time to sign up for this site. And you're only getting like a fraction of what you could get. All just because you're lazy and you don't want to go, all because you're lazy and you don't want to go on there to do this. And then she says sarcastically, this guy knows everything, so if you have something that you need found, go to this guy. And so I was like, oh, so you're going to play that card. Okay, alright, fine then. And so I was pretty pissed because I wasn't being an ass or anything like that. I was just wondering why. I was like, why would you limit yourself to just this little bit of stuff when you can expand your horizon and find so much more stuff? Oh, and not to mention, I don't think she's all that because she apparently is a big Fuda fan. And I'm a big Fuda fan. And when you don't even know that one of the new Kill la Kill dojins, I forgot what it was called, but it came out from Comic Cat 86. But when you don't know that it came out from Comic Cat 86, and when you don't know who Bashi is, or Askray, or you don't know who Uno Makoto is in the Fuda world, and you say that you're like the queen of finding this stuff, I'm sorry, but you're a liar. You don't know
shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you don't know shit. Those are like some of the most popular names. And you don't know them? And you claim to be the queen of Fuda? No. I'm sorry, no, you're wrong. Anyway, I got up and that kind of, well, it didn't really spoil me or spoil my night. It kind of lit a fire underneath my ass because I was like, alright, man, I want to make this, I'm a guide to fucked up hentai, really fucking good, for Sunday night. And so we proceed back to the room, and then I tell everybody, that all this, and that the panel went pretty well up until that part, till when she called me out, and I made her look like a dingling. So, and I didn't mean to make her look like that, but she was the one that started it. So I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna finish it. Anyway, that was mine and Adrian's little thing on Saturday night.
So then, of course, after that, we all meet back up at hotel room. Adrian and Timmy decide they're going to stay at the hotel while we go get some food. And, of course, getting pissed off at Jack in the Box because of the fact that, not Jack in the Box, that Carl's Jr.
Carl Jr.
Because this is Idiocracy, and our entire trip was sponsored by Carl's Jr. We just needed a Brondo energy drink. Brondo the Thirst Mutilator. So they said that they were 24 hours, but when you read the fine print, it's only a 24-hour drive-through. So we decide, fuck it, let's go to McDonald's. and we just eat at McDonald's until like 2 o'clock. And at this point,
You
we
know
get
what we
back.
didn't even talk about? I'm sorry, real quick, is that we didn't even tell about the How to Draw Sexy Women. I just now realized that.
Well, we mentioned it, but
Okay. I was just gonna see if you were gonna talk about the fucking Kakashi with the
oh god,
baggy balls and oh my gosh, that was fucking hysterical.
I would like to explain it, but I could not do this panel justice.
Yeah,
There
that's
is
true.
no way that I could sit here and describe to you this panel without doing it justice, because this was just a funny ass panel. Fucking old women with saggy boobs just flying everywhere.
That and their wings are flying saggy boobs and shit.
Boob wings,
That and they
crushing nuts.
yeah, like Kakashi
Kakashi with lipstick crying out for Naruto to come save his village from being saved by a rock. Well, from being sold for a rock.
we take land for rock.
Naruto, come back!
That
Don't
he's
let
drawing them with like mascara and he was like crying and shit. It was fucking funny.
because of you, our land is sold for rock.
But yeah, like you had to be there for it, man. Like it was pretty fucking funny.
So anyway, we get back and Pervy and Adrian are passed out. So we decide, you know what? Let's just go hang out in the lobby. And by this time it's 3 o'clock, and security comes up to us and like, lobby's closed. Head back to your room or get the hell out. So we go back up to the room, and instantly, Nui and Zombie begin the annual con experience of a farting contest. Who could stink out the room the fastest?
But the one major detail is when you guys were downstairs or whatever. It's one thing that really kind of set me off on the next couple of days with the one person just bitching the entire weekend was Adrian. The guy, like, we have a tradition of people will sleep in, if we have two beds, two people will sleep in the bed, and then we'll switch, and one person will sleep in the bed, the other person will sleep on the floor, and then we keep switching throughout the weekend. He's all griping and complaining he didn't get VIP because he didn't sign up with us.
Well, no, it's because this hotel is being stupid and would only give 4 people VIP no matter what.
Right. And so he's griping, complaining, and bitching about that. He's like, well, in compensation, I want the bed for the whole week. And I'm like, motherfucker, that's not how that works. We have a straight tradition of how we do things. 2 beds, and we rotate every day, so that way everyone gets a chance to sleep in a bed instead of just sleeping on the floor all weekend. And so I'm passed out on the one bed he was passed out on the night before. He's all, when I wanted my bed, I want my nipple, blah, blah. Why do I have to sleep on the floor?
Well, no, what he was complaining about is that he wanted to share a bed. He was complaining about the fact that you were sleeping in the middle of it.
He can share his bed on the floor because that's where I was sleeping, in the middle of the bed. And with how he was talking all weekend, I'm pretty glad that I didn't share a bed with him.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, this is 3 o'clock, and about 3:30, Zombie passes out. Nui passes out about 4, and I am just standing there wide awake, looking out the window at the parking lot and the Glendale scenery, just praying to go the fuck to sleep.
You're all like, man, is my check gonna get towed?
Huh? Wait, I didn't hear that last part.
Oh man, you were all like, man, is my truck gonna get towed?
I was a little bit concerned about that. But I had just there was like one thought going through my mind that day, well, that night, and I don't even remember what it was, so don't ask me. But it was just something that was stuck on my mind. And I didn't realize that there was a bed sheet on the floor. And the only open spot on the floor was right next to the fan that we had brought.
Oh yeah, also, man, like Colin pissed me off too because he turned up the fucking air.
That was
Yeah, he turned.
Sunday.
Yeah, it was.
He's like,
It
man,
was.
it's cold in here. It's 68 in here. I was like, dude, there's 5 fucking people or more in here right now, dude. It's fucking gonna get warm.
Okay, thank you for bringing that up because that just reminded me of something that happened on Saturday. So we're walking to the How to Draw Sexy Women. And we take the stairs because the elevators were out of service. So I'm bringing up my figures, and because we were talking about moving in.
Let's mention that all 4 of the elevators were out of service that weekend at one point.
Yeah.
Because of cleaning.
So anyway, I'm like, I got to find something to do with my figures and a place to put them. Colin, and his big mouth is just all, oh, perfect place, storage.
Well, no, like, the thing is that, like, you guys were talking about, it's like, well, like, what if I do move in? Like, I'm gonna have to put all my figures up in the living room where I'll probably be staying. And then Colin's like, well, no, you can find a place to put them somewhere else. And then, of course, you're like, where? And Colin's like, yeah, you can put them in storage. And I was like, motherfucker, man, if I'm gonna be paying, like, half of the thing, man, I'm gonna put my shit where I want to put it.
He's lucky I'm a peaceful person. Because we're walking downstairs, and he just said the dumbest thing you could possibly say to a figure collector like me.
What?
Putting figures in storage.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, man,
Boxed
that's a
up.
big no-no.
Yeah, see, that's what, like, when I moved back into my mom's house or whatever, that's the first thing I wanted. I'm like, I'm getting these out of storage because they don't belong there. They belong with me. Out of the box,
Yeah, so we're walking down the stairs, and I have to explain to him, no, you don't know how it works. When they stay in the box too long, figures turn green because they need air.
Yep.
So that was the one time I got pissed off at Colin at this convention.
Well, I got pissed off because of the air, because we walked into the fucking room, and it smelled like shit was burning, and it was fucking starting to get warm in there, and I was like, who the fuck turned this up in here? And of course, like, he's all like, it's hot, and I was all like, nigga, man, you ain't paid for this room.
Cold, man.
It was cold.
You ain't paid for this room, man, so it's gonna stay cold because there's so many people in here.
Yeah, and it was, with 5 people in there, it was perfect, like, AC. It was good all weekend. Kept it really nice and cool in there.
Exactly.
So, anyway, though, 4:30, I didn't realize there was a blanket left in that room. So I pass out right next to the fan. I wake up at 6:30, look behind me, like, motherfucker, there's a blanket right there, and I'm freezing my ass off.
Oh,
So then you all wake me up at 9 o'clock, and I'm just like, for day 3, and I'm just like, motherfuckers, let me sleep a little bit. So all of you guys went to breakfast, and I just jump in the one available bed and just pass out for another hour, waiting.
Well, yeah, because it was myself and Zombie who had woke up first. Because I remember I woke up and I heard Zombie or whatever just rummaging around the room, and then all of a sudden I woke up. I'm like, wow, what time is it? I look and check my phone. It's like 6:30, almost going on 7. I'm like, oh my god, all right, whatever. I gotta get up and get going, I guess.
So,
yeah, because I think I woke up because I had like 2 Charlie horses, and I kept having to hop into the shower and shit.
So at like 9:30 or so, I wake up and I had completely forgotten that you guys had gone to breakfast. No, wait, no, this was like 10 o'clock and I had forgotten that you guys had gone to breakfast. I look at my phone and I'm like, those motherfuckers went to the dealer room without me. You sons of bitches. Look over and I see Nui just asleep in his pile of pillows and blankets.
You're wrapped up like a mummy.
And then like 10 minutes later, you guys walk in. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. You guys went to breakfast. Never mind. You guys are cool with me again.
Yeah, but I forgot to mention on Saturday I bought like the last couple things that I bought for the whole weekend. No, yeah, it was Saturday because on Saturday I ended up buying the Knights of Iris art book. For those people who don't know what that is, it's the Fire Emblem Awakening art book called Knights of Iris. It's worth getting because it details like all the game screens,
Every
all
fucking thing.
everything from the game pretty much, just inside and out, all their like confessions and all that stuff.
Dude, man, that
It's
whole
just
fucking book is like 2 inches thick.
yeah, it's $72. I'm like, I missed it last year. I'm not gonna miss it this year. And it was from that same booth I also purchased Strange Kind of Woman 2. For those that don't know what that is, Strange Kind of Woman is a Dojin series. It's worth reading. Go read it. And then it was actually also on the same day from the one figure lady we always talk about from Sabaku. Thank you to Phoenix Otaku on this because he had told me about it. I immediately booked it down there. I'm like, he's like, dude, you realize they have the Guts plushie down there? And he's like, I was like, what? Where? Where the fuck is the Guts plushie at? It's at the figure ladies booth. I'm like, I'm going. I'm going and grabbing it. I'm getting it. And I ended up getting it for like $45. I'm like, yes.
I thought it was 65.
No, it was 45.
Right.
No, was it 65? I don't remember, but it was a good price. It was a decent price. It was definitely cheaper than the online. And I was just like, oh, dude, I got the two plushies that I actually really wanted in the same weekend. I was like super happy. I didn't even care that I had barely any money left.
Oh, by the way, I also did get stuff on Saturday. I did forget. I got those. I got that one. Like Kill la Kill. A poster and the one Moe Police poster.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I ended up getting those on Saturday, and I got a whole bunch of stuff on Sunday, including I got my commission from Armin.
Wait, didn't you get that on Monday though?
Well, right. I gave I gave him the money, but as in like me actually getting it.
I know, but then I thought he didn't give it to you, and it wasn't ready until Monday.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, like it was Monday. My bad.
Because I remember getting my Chrome one on Monday.
Right.
Yeah. For Sunday.
So anyway, day 3, wake up, and finally we could use the VIP. We can finally use our reasoning for staying at the hotel.
Yep. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Well, at least me and Zombie were able to, since we thankfully had money left to buy stuff.
Right.
So we go in there and we're just looking around, and we really just ended up looking around for the most part of that.
Well, here's the thing: is that it had technically started earlier than that, than when we went in. Remember, because we were in there for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then they let everyone in, and we're like, "What the fuck's going on?" And then everyone's like, "Well, Greg said that everyone can go in," and we're like, "Are you fucking kidding me, dude? What the? And what's the point in fucking having these then?" Because remember that, man, they came in like 5 or 10 minutes after we went in, and
Oh
we
no,
still.
I didn't pay attention. I was just like, okay, we're in the vendor hall. I'm looking around.
Right. I know, but the point is that like we stay there for that reason, so that way we come in early and no one gets to come in early.
Yeah.
Except for us.
So at one point, you and Adrian, and by you I mean Zombie and Adrian, you guys walk off somewhere. So it's me, Pervy, and Nui. And we go back to the figure lady, and I notice that at this point, because she had both the first and second stage of the Idolmaster 2 Million Dreams Petite Androids, but the second stage was half gone, and of course that's the one that has Yukiho, Miki, Katori,
How fun.
and Hibiki, and Ami, and of
Hibiki.
course and Azusa. And
Hello!
I think I think I forgot to name one. Oh, and Iori, she was in there too.
Played
But
by the awesome Ray Kugamiya.
yes, and then stage one had been untouched, or so I had thought.
Untouched like the virgin girl.
So the woman that operates this, I flag her down and like, okay, is there any deal you can work? She's like, okay, I'll give these to you for 80. But since I'm using my card, I get taxed, so I pretty much only save $2 minus the original tax. So I get 8 Idolmaster figures for $86, and at that point I had tied the amount of figures that I have bought at this convention with Tile last year. And before the convention started, I asked the rest of you, okay, so over
Hey
under.
man, we lost you.
Okay, can you hear me or no?
Okay,
I can
yeah,
hear
now
him.
we can.
Yeah, I can hear him.
All right, so where did I cut out?
Right after the $86, I believe, pretty much, or a little bit after that.
So, like I said, eight Idolmaster figures for $86, and I had matched the amount of figures that I bought at this convention with how many I bought at Sabo last year. And
Right.
before it started, and before the convention started, I asked you guys, so over under, I get more or less figures than Sabo last year. And Purvy was the only one who picked over, besides for Nui, who guessed around 11 to 18.
Yeah, I think I said like 6 or 8.
Yep. Which, if it hadn't been for the Idolmaster figures, you probably would have ended up being right.
Yeah, that's true.
So, after I bought those Idolmaster figures, I ended up losing trace of where Purvy and Nui went. And of course, ran into other people, started talking to them for a little bit. Well, and then found out that Purvy and Nui went off to autographs.
Again.
So
Yeah,
I
like I think I went with them.
So after I get done talking to a few people, I run into my friend Thomas and his friend who was dressed like Tuxedo Mask. And we were talking for a little bit, and he's like, oh yeah, and we're going to be in the Otaku Closet tonight, and I have this Asuka figure. It's this wedding dress Asuka signed by her voice actress. And I'll give it to you for $30. I'm like, sweet. I'm going to have to buy it from you before because we're running the Kill la Kill panel. And at some point, I look at my phone and I realize that it's 20 minutes before our Space Dandy panel.
Well, this is the thing before that. When myself and Nui and Zombie, we all went to go do autographs. It was DC Douglas and Ian Sinclair, and we were going through the line. I said hi to Ian again real quick, reminded him, hey, if you get the chance or whatever, come on over to the Space Dandy panel in this room, yada yada, so on and so forth. Thanked him, and we went on. Myself and Nui sat there. We talked to DC Douglas for a little bit. That was really fun because we got to talk to him about the panel that we had saw last night, and we were just having a laugh with him. And he, and of course, Nui was like, "Man, I'm not gonna be able to look at like Resident Evil the same way ever again."
Yep.
Yeah, and then after that is when we like headed over for like the Space Dandy panel.
So anyway, at 3:10, I look at my phone and I'm like, oh crap, I have to get to the Space Dandy panel. There are 2 messages on my phone and 2 missed calls. I'm like, I know what this is about. So I quickly say goodbye to Thomas and Tuxedo Mask and literally run out of the vendor hall into the Space Dandy panel. And then, of course, while Zombie was going to get an extension cord, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I end up,
Yeah. Or I was just say, like, do you want me to explain that real quick?
yeah, in just a minute.
Okay.
But while I wait for that, I walk out of the panel. I'm just like, okay, Timmy's already got this set up. He knows what he's doing. This is his expertise panel. So I walk out of the panel and start talking to someone that I ran into that was right outside of our panel. But get back in there, and Zombie just walks in, and he's just pissed off.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what had happened was me and Pervy, and did you come with us, Newy?
Oh,
Or no? Well, anyway, point being is that like I had forgotten that in the floor, in the middle, like right behind where we were sitting, that there was a plug-in outlet down in this hole right in the floor.
Right. Yeah.
And of course, I didn't see it on the other side of this thing. And so I was like, well, shit, I'm going to have to bring my laptop all the way over here and have the cord stretched out, and it'll probably pop loose, from the damn thing. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go get a small like extension cord, right, man, for like 5 feet or something. So anyway, I go down to information. I was like, okay, could I get this and this? And Greg's like, okay, we'll go look for this so-and-so guy, right? And what do you call it? I couldn't remember the guy's last name to save my life because it was a weird name, but I remembered his first name. His name was Matt. So anyway, I go down to the double doors, past our panel, room, and I was like, excuse me, Greg said I could probably get some help here. And they're like, yeah, sure. Like, what are you looking for? I was like, I'm looking for like a 5-foot extension cord or a extension cord because so and so with the room and all that and my power cord. And they're like, okay, well, Greg sent you, but who did he tell you to get? I was like, somebody by the name of Matt. I can't remember his last name. It was some weird name. And then they're all like, okay, so what did Matt? Like, what is Matt's job? I was like, I have no clue.
Motherfucker, how am I supposed to do that? How am I supposed to know that?
I was like, I don't know. And then they're like, okay, like, what does Matt do for something else or something like that? And I was like, motherfucker, is this 20 questions? Are you all going to help me or no? And then they're all like, excuse us? I was all like, guys, I'm not here to play questions. The panel's about to start and, I need this extension cord. So anyway, they finally give in because they see that on my badge it says panelist. So anyway, this guy's like, okay, you know what? Man, I'll let you have one then. I was like, okay, cool, thanks. So anyway, he grabs it and he's coming toward the door and, I go to grab it and get it from him, and then he's like, no, that's not the way it works. Man, just take me to your panel room. And I was like, okay then, smart ass. So anyway, we're going back, and I was like, man, I can't believe the nerve of this guy. That and the 20 questions bullcrap. And so anyway, we get there, and then he's all like, so do you really need this extension cord? And I was like,
No.
Man, I almost told him, well, if you're going to be a complete fucking smartass about it, I'm going to just take it and shove it straight up your ass then.
No, at that point,
know about it.
At that point, I would have been like, no, I'm just trying to make your day a lot harder, dipshit.
I know. And what do you call it? And the thing is that, like, and the thing that made me mad is that they wanted to play 20 questions and shit. That's the thing that made me mad. I was like, guys, I'm not here to play games. The panel's about to start. Can I please get an extension cord, okay? That was why I really got pissed. Of course, but this guy's like, do you really need this? And of course, on the way there, he's like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, oh my gosh, it sounds like your day is so fucking horrible, dude.
I'm sorry that I had to
And
make you do work.
yeah, no. I was like, dude, you have to walk 20 feet to give me a friggin' extension cord. So anyway, we get in there, and he's like, dude, there's a thing on the other side of it. I can't believe you made me come in here with this. And at that point, I just about blew up. I wanted to hit this dude in his throat so fucking hard just to make him gasp for air for being such a smartass. And so I was like, you know what? That's fine. We'll use it. Take the extension cord back. And then he's like, fine. And he just walks off. And I was like, dude, I swear if I ever see him again, I'm just gonna tell Greg, hey man, you need to keep an eye on him because that dude is a complete friggin' jerkwad.
You know, it was funny though. When I first got to the panel room, Greg saw me and he's like, "So, did you guys get your extension cord that you needed?" And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I guess so."
Really? Oh, you did?
Yeah, because I didn't know that you needed an extension cord because this is as I was just getting to the panel.
Yeah, and
So
and
I
you know,
knew, I
man,
literally knew nothing. So I'm just
and,
like, yeah, I guess.
but like I said, man, the thing that made me mad is that they want to ask 20 questions, and and before this, I was like, guys, the panel's about to start. You know, this. I don't remember his name. If you're having that much doubt in me, you know, just hop on the damn intercom real quick and be like, hey, Greg, man, did you send somebody down here? And that's all they would have had to have said. But no, they want to play 20 questions and ask me what the fucking a dick size is of Matt and shit. And I'm like, I ain't got time to play games, guys. Give me the damn extension cord.
Okay, we just have to ask you, what kind of lettuce does Matt put on his sub?
Is it romaine? But yeah, I was all like,
Iceberg.
I was like, guys, you see this, right? It says panelist. I even told them the name of our panel and everything, and they're still asking all these questions. And I'm like, guys, if you think I'm going to steal something, you know the fucking panel. You know who's running it. Greg knows who's running it. Give me the damn cord. That's pretty much what I'm like. But so yeah, I guess he wanted to be, or like, so I guess the one guy just wanted to just shit in everyone's cereal since apparently I guess I made them mad when I said this isn't fucking 20 questions. But yeah, yeah, if I ever see the dude again, if I have to deal with him, I'm just gonna be like, nope, man, give me someone else. Because I know exactly what the fucker looks like. You see, man, there's good volunteers and shit like that, or good staff members, and then there's bad ones like him. And then there's good
I
ones
think
like
he was the one that got the bad review.
I don't know if it was or what, man, but the one dude, man, that helped us out, man, during the Kill a Kill panel, and the guy that fucked up Hentai, man, that dude was pretty fucking cool.
So anyway, after that whole fiasco and we got everything set up, we finally start the Space Dandy panel.
And we kick it off, you know, like the normal the normal panel. We just pop the intro on, you know, Space Dandy. He's a dandy guy in space, you know. It goes through the intro song and everything, and we do the first episode. We get to the second episode, and that's when I noticed Ian Sinclair actually walked in and decided to, you know, sit down. I'm like, ooh, so he did actually come. I felt like I was kind of under a little bit of pressure because I was really trying to make him like happy with this panel.
And I mean, my biggest fear was that I was like, oh god, what if he says, like, what are you doing with like the English episodes or something?
So, but anyway, it was pretty much set up to where Timmy was on the mic. Well, Purvey was on the mic, emceeing the whole panel. And I'm just on the computer trying to do all the clip work.
Yep, and I was back up in case Timmy forgot something, but there was hardly anything that he forgot.
And I was expecting Ian Sinclair to come up to the actual desk.
I know, I thought he was going to come up too. he didn't.
But
No,
no, he just wanted to hang out, which was cool.
You know, he sat near the back, and, you know, we were kind of under the watchful eyes of Dandy, so we didn't screw up, and that's
And
when
he
I was
actually
really,
and he actually helped us out too when you got stuck on some stuff, like some of the
yeah, when
names.
I got, yeah, like some of the names and stuff, he helped me out on, which I'm really thankful for, because he was such a nice guy about it, so.
That, and finally, after like the 5th time of him talking, so like the people are all like, "Man, that sounds just like fucking Dandy," and so they turn and look, and they're like, "Oh shit, man, it's him."
But really quick, one thing that kind of irritated me during that panel, this one guy, he walks in, sits down, and then a minute later raises his hand, and I go like, "Yo, what's up?" And he's just like, "So, what's your guys' theory on episode 1?" And I'm just like, "Well, they didn't die, but they're in a coma in a hospital, and all of this is just a dream." And he's like, "Oh, well, fuck you too."
And the thing is, that was just a joke. I mean, it was just like a prod to, like, you know, various other, you know, zombie, or, well, just in general kind of goofy sci-fi kind of endings and everything.
Yeah, and he
And
took me seriously.
Because we always crack jokes about other references during our panels.
yeah, and
I guess that one really fucking bent him out of shape.
yeah, but, you know, we were going through all of our going through the episodes. I think we got to episode 2, and a little bit ways into episode 2, I see Ian walk in. I'm just like, trying not to wave to let people know that he's there, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, hey, you know, I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, no,
You know,
because
we're going,
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
yeah, because we were going through this episode. You got to episode 3, and then we got to episode 4, which is the zombie episode, and then we got to the Michiko and Hachin episode, which was episode 5, and no, he helped me out. He helped me out when I forgot certain things, like the little girl's name in episode 5 was a daily, and I could not pronounce it for the life of me. You know, just a whole lot of other stuff. We were going through. Everyone like was enjoying it, and, you know, just doing stuff. I remember, I forget where it was, but he actually ended up leaving because he had to go use the bathroom at one point. I really thought he was actually just leaving because he had to go to like another panel or something. So I'm like, hey, you know, Ian, you know, thanks for coming to our panel. Yeah, I didn't realize he was actually leaving just to go to the bathroom and come back. So we were just like giving him a round of applause just for like leaving to go to the bathroom by mistake.
And of course, he was joking with us about the spoilers too.
Well,
Yeah, no.
it was that, and he was talking about the other panel that would have been that was almost pretty much right after our panel, that him and Alexis were in, and they were going to be talking about some of the stuff that's coming up in season 2 of Space Dandy.
Yeah, no, because he was all like, "Well, thank goodness y'all didn't do the 2nd season because y'all would have spoiled a whole bunch of stuff that we were going to talk about then." Or
Even if
whatever.
we did, like I said, even if we did get to the 2nd season, I think we would have kept it to at least the first 4, maybe 5 episodes.
But yeah, like it was cool, man. Like after the panel, man, like he came up and shook our hands and everything. He's like, "Hey guys, thanks for running, you know, a really good panel and stuff." And of course, he did his little voice as he walked out, and everyone was like, "Yay!"
You know, we had them all cheering like Dandy, Dandy, Dandy.
And of course, I kind of did wish that we would have gotten to the first episode of season 1 because that's one of my favorite episodes.
Of course.
That episode is so good. It's ridiculous.
But actually, because of the fact that I was expecting Ian Sinclair to come up to the stage with us, about halfway through the panel, I'm like, there's no way that's Ian Sinclair. That's just some guy that happens to look like him.
Well, yeah, but
Wow.
I think it was like episode 2, and what do you call it? The only reason why I recognized him was because like half the time they come in with like a security person, you know.
Right, yeah.
And so I was like, "Hey, Timmy, man, he's here, man." And then Timmy's like, "What, where?" And then like we know some, and he's like, "Oh shit, man."
And I was like, in the first thing, like, we were we got into the end of episode 2, and I got like confused about what the mech was that they only used like one time in the whole first season. And I couldn't figure out the name, and like Ian from the back is like, I believe that's called the Hawaiian Yankee, or the Hawaii Yankee. I'm like, thank you, sir.
Yeah, man,
And
it was good.
it was pretty. It was nice to have someone help me out when I couldn't remember some of the stuff.
True.
And it
Plus,
was,
go on.
and then after the panel, of course, I go up to Greg just to see how he's doing. He's like, "So did Ian actually show up to your guys' panel?" I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Cool, that is awesome."
Yeah, no, man. Plus, he was like retweeting like the tweets I had sent out. I was like, guys, make sure to come to the Space Danny panel and all that stuff. And he kept on retweeting it, so that way I'm sure hopefully like Ian would have seen it more. So, but yeah, like it's cool, man, that he came. Man, I really wish a lot more voice actors would do that. If there are maybe like specific panels for characters that they play like a big part in, would come in and at least check out. Because that's what I think is really fucking cool.
So before we go on to the events after the Space Dandy panel, do you mind if we take another quick 5-minute break?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
fine, man. Let's make it
Go
5 or
ahead and
7
do that.
minutes, man. I need to get something to drink and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Same.
Keep it right here on the MSDF LiveCast episode 8, Saboten Con Lucas. We will be back in 5 minutes, and keep it fresh, baby.
Do. We're back. Well, me.
And I am back.
No, you're not.
And so I'm back from outer space.
Alright, I'm back.
I'm back.
Don't call it a comeback.
I've been here for years, wrecking my peers, putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down, like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom, explosion.
So anyway, welcome back to the MSDF LiveCast, episode 8, Saboten Lucas. We are officially at day 3 of Saboten Con, the largest convention in the Southwest, located this year in Glendale, Arizona, at the Renaissance Hotel. We are at 4:30 in the afternoon, right after our Space Dandy panel baby.
Yeah, and that's when I forgot my laptop power cord, and I had to run back down and go get it.
Yeah.
So we end up going back up to the hotel so I could grab all my stuff for the Kill a Kill panel. And of course, we're all wearing our matching nudist beach shirts.
Nudist beach.
So me and Zombie, we go down to the vendor hall because if I believe right, Pervy and Nui went to go get more stuff signed by Alexis Tipton.
I did.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Derek, yeah.
We show up at James's booth at 5 o'clock, and he has a panel that's run. And of course, we're waiting for this Raggio print, and it didn't happen because his assistant decided just to get the books instead of the print. So James is at a panel with Armand, and we're telling this woman, okay, James said we could collect these prints for the Kill a Kill panel. And she's like, okay, I don't really know you guys, so after James's panel, I'll talk to him, and if he says it's okay, I'll run these prints to you. Well, never saw her again. Not even during our Kill a Kill panel. We're just like, whatever.
Well, I'm sure she forgot.
So, after that, no, actually, then we went up to the hotel room again to get the stuff for the Kill a Kill panel. And Colin comes with me to find this person that a tuxedo mask so I can get the Oscar figure. Eventually, Colin just walks off, and I run into a tuxedo mask, and this is about half an hour before the Kill a Kill panel. So I have my stuff with me, and I see Pervy, Nui, and Zombie walking to the Kill a Kill panel, and I'm just like, guys, I'll be there in a couple of minutes. Just wait for me there. I'm going to get that Oscar figure. So I come back down.
Me, myself, it was me and Zombie. We were kind of, I think it was it was myself, Nui, and Zombie.
It was just you and me, actually. I don't know where Nui went. I think he had to go to the bathroom or something.
Yeah, because we were literally standing in the back of the room during that stupid Ask a Homestuck panel. Well, at the end of it, anyway, they went like 10 minutes over.
No, it wasn't 10. It was about 16 or 17 minutes, and they're like, "Oh, you're here for the next panel?" I'm like, yeah.
And I've got my Guts plushie under one arm. I'm holding my Mako Nendroid that I just got in the mail before Sabo.
Of course, we're rocking the nudist beach shirt, and I'm rocking the Animu eye glasses.
I was so disappointed in a lot of the people in that panel because I showed them the Nendroid. They're like, I showed them the plushie. They're like,
I was just reminded of
come on, guys.
I forgot. Before the Kill a Kill panel, I'm walking around the vendor hall, and there's this T-shirt booth, and I happen to notice this Kill a Kill shirt. So without thinking, I ask them, okay, this is the size I need. They hand it to me, and it looks like it fits all right. Because I just do that thing where I just lay it over my body, just see if it's long enough, that kind of shit. So I'm like, okay, here's the money for that. I get the Oscar figure, and after I get the Oscar figure, then I meet you guys in the Kill a Kill panel, and we're setting up, and then we ask for another extension cord. And then, thankfully, though, the people that were helping us with the Kill la Kill panel just like, okay, we'll be right back with that.
Yeah, man, that was that one big, like, Asian guy with the big beard and everything, man. Like, he was pretty cool, man.
But one thing that pissed me off, they were standing in the back of the room. There were 4 people. And I'm talking to them. They're like, all our mics are distributed, and we need one for the voice actors. So we need to take one of your mics. I'm like, why? She's like, oh, well, how many people do you have on this panel? 4. And how many mics do you absolutely need? 2. Well, why do you need 2? It's because we all have something to say about Kill la Kill. And we don't want to be sharing one mic along every one of us.
Right, exactly.
So we're like, okay, never mind, we'll figure out something.
Yeah, no, man, because I was about to say, yeah, man, we had to deal with all this fucking bullshit during the beginning of our con. So, like, it's your all's problem now.
Yeah, you're not gonna screw us over. Figure something else out instead of screwing with our panels. So anyway, the Kill la Kill panel starts, and we have a good-sized audience. Now, because of the length of our panel, and it had to be run at the same time as the Masquerade, which I'm not mad at all. I mean, I understand it, and the Masquerade is a huge thing. And of course, talking to Vitamin H later, whenever you have a fandom panel going up against an event like a rave or a Masquerade, people are going to choose the rave or the Masquerade because they can see Kill la Kill whenever.
Right, exactly. And I was kind of devastated, man, because we had like half the room, and then about 5 minutes in, man, and like it's not like we were doing anything wrong or anything, man. Like we were going with like the explanations of the episode, so on and so forth, and literally like 80% of the room almost just gets up within a matter of like 5 to 10 minutes and just fucking leaves, and they turn to the right, and there's where the Masquerade is.
And for those of you that are listening and like, well, maybe it's just because your panel is bad. No, we had the doors open and they were running the otaku closet, and normally that is just jam-packed of people just pushing and shoving.
Yeah, and there was nobody.
The otaku closet was empty as well. So
Yeah.
a lot of people went to the Masquerade because this is a huge cosplay con. Because of the fact that this year we had the World Cosplay Summit and stuff like that. So it wasn't just our panel. It was literally the Masquerade was the biggest thing going on at this time slot.
Yeah, and I think at one point we only had around like 4 or 5 people in the fucking room.
No, we never got below 10.
Oh, really?
We had 10 at all time, but about an hour and a half into the panel, we had actually gone through all of our material.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
and we had a little bit more people come in.
Well, and that's because I was playing those Kill la Kill OVAs.
Yeah.
And that I had made.
Oh, so, you mean the OVAs, yeah.
I just turned to the audience, and I'm just like, okay, we have this other panel that we submit to these conventions. Do you guys want to see what we do for this? And they all agreed, they liked it, so we start going through Anime Seasons 2014, our Phoenix Comic-Con version. Right. And that actually brought in some people as well.
Yeah, it did.
Because this is a 2.5-hour panel, and like I said, with the key panel, the less people you have, the faster you're going to run through everything.
Yep.
So we're just like, okay, the final hour, we're the next panelist after this because the guy to Fucked Up Hentai is literally in the same room as Kill la Kill. So we're like, okay, we're going to be here for at least another 2 hours or so. So this is what we're going to do since you all are okay with that. So we get through that, and then next thing you know, people start coming in, filling this room for a guide to effed up hentai.
And that's when I started to get real happy. I was like, yeah, man.
Oh, Jesus.
And
oh boy.
The only thing I didn't like about where we had the effed up hentai panel scheduled is that it conflicted right with the Let's Play Idolmaster panel, which is a panel I love to go to every year. So that was the only downside.
Unfortunately, and like there was another Vitamin H like hentai panel, and
Well,
and
no, our guide to effed up hentai panel was during one panel I actually really super wanted to go to, and it was the Takashi Miike Torture Fest, which was 18
that's
plus
what it
from
was.
Vitamin H, and I wanted to learn so much about Takashi Miike and what all of his messed up movies were.
Because didn't you also miss that at Sabaku?
Yeah,
No,
I did.
Well, they sort of have like it was kind of like a mini version of it in a way. That was because they had finished up on like one panel early, and they were just showing us some stuff.
Yeah,
From
they showed us a scene from the movie called A Lesson of the Evil, where it was pretty much it was like an homage to American Psycho. This Japanese teacher was wearing like this rain slicker, just going through a hallway, just lighting these kids up with his shotgun. It's Takashi Miike. What can I say?
But yeah, man, like more people started to file in, man, and then like 10 minutes into it, man, like over half of the room is filled, and we're
And
all
then they
like,
start,
yeah,
and
they
then they
started
start
checking
IDs,
IDs.
which makes sense because this is a idle. Well, this not idle. This is an 18 plus panel.
Right,
So
exactly.
eventually, it hits 9:30. The doors close. I
And
just get
that's
on
when
the
the
mic.
fun begins.
I get on the mic. I'm like, "Are you guys? How are you guys doing tonight?" And they're just like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You guys don't sound excited. How are you guys doing tonight?" Just me and Pervy getting the crowd excited, and then I'm just like, "Are you guys ready for some
No,
up
you forget.
shit?"
Yeah, but it was like before that, I was like, oh, come on, guys, that's bullshit. Are you guys excited?
And then the whole room just erupted, and even I joined in on it too, man, because I was getting stuff ready, making sure shit was working on my laptop. And yeah, man, we all got into it, man. We're all like, "Who's ready to see some fucked up shit?" And the whole room just like, "Yeah, yeah!" And yeah, and
Oh, and they
everyone was
were
just,
ready to see some effed up shit. We're not going to go into detail about some of the effed up shit because there was something that we wanted to skip, and we won't tell you what it is.
yeah. But we ended up showing it anyway because everyone was like, "Well, it's a fucked up hentai panel," and I was like, "No, no, 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 you don't understand." So,
Yeah,
but yeah, we'll leave that little part out. That's about the only thing that's to where we can't talk about on here unless y'all were to PM us or something.
but yeah, we had people come up and read the parts of the characters that were in like the dojins that we had up there. We had this one guy come up and read like it was like this old grandma character. And he was doing it in like he was doing it in like a Jewish grandma voice, which was absolutely hysterical.
Yeah, and for people who were wondering what the Dojin was, pretty much I wanted to start off everybody, with something that's really friggin' weird, and but something that's like not like too like hardcore or anything because that was for later. And the Dojin was called, I think it's called, Pl- Playing with Grandma in the Golden Week of August or something like that. But it's by Radiohead. Pretty much, it's like a huge like Fuda on like male like scat dojin, and yeah, and needless to say, it was friggin' hilarious, and there were and and I went around and there was a lot of people saying that other than the one girl one that this one was really fucking different for a lot of people because
I,
there I mean there was a lot of shit, no pun intended, but
one thing I will say really quick though is since I hadn't eaten at all that day, even though this was literally dealing with shit,
yeah,
I
and
was
people
getting
eating
hungry
shit.
during this panel.
I'm not gonna lie, I was too. I actually got pretty hungry by the end of that panel.
I
These
know.
fucking sick people.
Well, no, man, it's because we'd went like pretty much that whole day without eating, other than when me and Timmy went and ate breakfast. And and right before the panel started, I think we were talking. We're all like, guys, after this, we gotta go get something to eat because I'm fucking starving. And then of course we all joked. I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna be hungry after this. I was like, no, no, trust me, I will be because I'm fucking hungry. And it's funny because they were eating shit in the dojin and all that good old stuff, and such a good dojin, man, for the first one. And then I was like, yay, that was the introduction. So now it's time to get ready for some good stuff.
I couldn't finish my lollipop.
Oh
Oh
my
yeah,
god.
plus plus I took out like this chocolate covered Twinkie and was trying to gross out the theme of people and stuff, and
It
of
didn't
course
work.
it didn't work.
But this second one you showed, I almost fucking got disgusted at it.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
That was where I kind of had to like turn my head a couple times. I was like,
I
oh boy.
just stopped looking at it because that one
Guys,
was just.
yeah, like guys, there was to one point to where like it got to be so bad that like two of the rows in the back literally got up and left after one point because they're all like, no, this is beyond what they could handle, and that was part of our goal in a way. But it still kind of sucked though that they left because we're like, no, kind of come back. But then we're like, okay, well we can understand. But yeah, the second one was okay. I'll tell you this: is that even on the comments on EX Hentai, even on the comments there, man, there were people that were saying, man, this is some pretty hardcore stuff. And yeah, it was some really fucked up shit.
So you'll definitely be seeing that when we run it again.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to update with some more fucked up stuff.
And
don't worry, we will, man.
Stuff,
I'm gonna find the one that was done by that same artist because, the artist still did kind of like the same thing, where like he cut, or to where he had the one lesbian like cut the one chick's titty open and take out her breast meat and eat it and then shit in it.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Okay, that's enough.
God.
But dude, man, that last part, man, this is what made the last two groups, man, they got up and left. They're like, fuck this, man. This is too fucking disturbing. And of course you see me, I'm like, oh gosh, guys, here. And like, the thing that was so creepy is that the two women that came up to play it.
Oh my god, they voiced it perfectly.
Yeah, and the fact that they sounded like cutesy women too, made it even a little bit more disturbing.
Yeah, that was pretty. I was like, oh my goodness.
And there was a lot of people, man, not only during the first dojin that were like, oh gosh, no, man, that's gross. No, during this, it wasn't just like, oh, it was like, oh my god, it was like that. And so yeah, that was the point of the whole panel, and it got extremely violent. And and what do you call it? Even man, because I had told y'all on Twitter when I was looking through this shit, because I was like, okay, I gotta make sure this stuff's good for this panel. And after I got done reading it, I was like, okay, I gotta stand up and and try and get rid of this in my head because it's some really fucked up shit. And so yeah, it was disturbing to a lot of people. Like the one girl that had the bigger boobies and had like the blonde hair. The one that was voicing her.
Yeah.
She, man, like even she, when it came to the knife cutting part, of the ass and shit down to the vag, even she was all like, "Oh my gosh, that's horrible," and I was all like, "Oh gosh, you ain't seen nothing yet." And so yeah. And then the third dojin, it got to be pretty close to run out of time. We had, I think, like 10 minutes left or so, and that was it. So we skimmed through the one because we're all like, okay, this isn't gonna work. Because there's 4 women in here, we only have 2 mics, and they don't have the info bubbles. And so what else did we do? Oh yeah, that's right.
Showed that
yeah, that video. The one.
Yeah, you showed them the one weird one to where the person reaches inside that chick's ass and just like pinches her inside for no reason.
And the one with the really fucking fucked up and funny faces.
Yeah.
Everybody got a kick out of that one.
Oh yeah, they did. And then of course the cherry on top was when the dude nutted in the one girl so much that she fucking started vomiting nut and all that stuff like all over the place, and everyone just started clapping and everything, and then that was the point to close out and to where Lane's like, and that is the guide to fucked up hentai. Everyone, thank you.
No. It was, and with that, you have all just survived the guide to effed up hentai. Thank you for coming. Have a great night.
Yeah,
but
you know, I
everyone
got.
got up and clapped and everything, and man, dude, it felt good, man.
Yeah. I gotta congratulate everyone who survived that, because you guys have like iron stomachs, man.
And I want to say thank you too to Anubis, man, for letting us run this panel, man, because I think it's a panel, man, that's probably gonna stay because
Yeah.
everyone really fucking enjoyed it, and it's pretty much always gonna have new stuff.
Well, unless they stop making hentai.
Right. But I think I'm still gonna keep the grandma one though, because that one's like something that's easier to get into. Oh, or I could just change it to like another Radiohead dojin.
Yeah, because 42 pages is a little bit long if we're gonna have, unless we're gonna have a 2-hour panel.
Yeah, that is true, man. But
Because
man, it was still
it took us half the panel to get through that one.
and like it was still entertaining though because fucking everyone wasn't expecting Yurio, man, to get fucking rammed, dude, by his grandma. And they're all like, "What the fuck?" Of course, and of course, the dialogue in that is fucking hilarious.
The
Like, man,
voice actors made it better.
yeah, it's true. It's like, man, my cock is like an AK, man. Like, it's got like an infinite amount of ammo, motherfucker, and all that. Or like, I'm a shit producing machine, motherfucker, and all that. It was so funny. And that's not like made up dialogue. That's actual dialogue from the actual Japanese. So yeah, that was our guide to fucked up hentai. Huge fucking success, man. Everyone loved it, and we even had people come up and was like, "Dude, man, thanks for running." Well, I think as a matter of fact too, come Sunday, we met the one guy, you know, that helped us with like the extension cord and shit that me and Lane saw.
No,
And
that was Monday.
Right.
Oh yeah, Monday. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it was Monday. Yeah.
yeah, like even like that on Monday, man. Like even he stopped us and he's like, "Guys, thank you for running that panel, man," because I was in there for like half of it, and it was fucking awesome. And we're all like, "Well, thanks, man." And you know, man, like,
Good panels.
you see, man, a lot of people want adult panels. They do. And you know, they don't want well, no, I shouldn't say they shouldn't want fan fiction, because I'm sure there's people that do. But listen, if you want a real adult panel, then go to stuff to what with like Vitamin H does and what we want to do, and stuff like that, man. Those are the adult panels and stuff, not fucking fan fiction and or like let's read a fan fiction
And
that
then
are
of course,
homestuck.
and then of course Sunday night after our panel, we went back up to the hotel room.
And we're all just high-fiving one another and shit. We're like, yeah, man.
Well,
Sorry.
and then we also decide. Well, I get on Twitter and I follow people that like to screenshot the anime they watch. And there was this one person showing screenshots of Comic Kill. I'm just like, fuck it, I'm putting it on.
Yep.
So we end
thanks
up.
Crunchyroll for being a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's what I pay my $7 for. But that was also just shitty connection.
Yeah, that too.
But we end up watching Kill a Kill, not fucking Kill a Kill, a Comic Kill. Because that night, getting you introduced officially to the Jaegers and getting to see more Kurome.
She wants the D.
Ain't that obvious?
She wants the dick.
But she ain't getting it.
And you're talking, of course, about Adesi, not.
Oh yeah,
Kurome.
dude, man. You know, dude. I know it's not gonna happen, but still, if she did end up fucking him, dude, she's gonna ride him fucking raw. I'm sorry.
And of course, you with your Fuda visions.
Yeah,
Yes.
he'll be
with
definitely
my-
iced.
What?
He'll be definitely iced.
Iced. Oh yeah, that's right, because she uses ice. Ha ha ha. But yeah, like it turned out to be a pretty good episode, man. I want to see what happens next, though.
Well, this next one is just going to be pretty much another. It's going to be a setup to the next fight that's going to happen.
Kill that bitch part 4?
And
Kill
will
that
they?
bitch part 4.
Yep. And will they fucking? And what will happen between Adesi and fucking Tatsumi? Will Night Ray get Tatsumi back?
Well, you got to remember, this is the part to where Aaron comes swooping in and saves Tatsumi. He's Aaron is best Jaeger.
I'm sorry,
It's because Aaron is best Jaeger. That's why.
So anyway, and then after that, we put in Love Lab and watched the first episode of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I fell asleep, unfortunately, man. Dude, man, I was fucking tired, man. After that.
No, and then after that, we went to McDonald's.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did go to McDonald's, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then
good
after
stuff.
that, we woke up for day 4. The final day.
You know what I just now realized?
Thank you.
Huh.
Is that I can't use my debit card at McDonald's when we go there after this.
I didn't realize that.
Well, since I owe you $7 from the convention, I'll buy you like a drink or something if you want.
Alright, cool. I'll get like a hamburger or 2 and a drink or something. Alright, cool. Alright, anyway, back to the Monday. Sorry.
So anyway, it's Monday and it's time for us to check out. And in reminiscence to Sabaku, because of all the shit I bought, all the figures and everything, I had to get a garbage bag to carry my stuff around.
Pretty much.
So we wake up, we check out, and me and Pervy and Nui, we go to our panel room for the Kyoto Animation Fan Panel, which was another one we acquired from Time Squad B. And of course, I did take a picture of my stuff all bagged up, a condensed view of it, and you can see that on Twitter. So I set up my computer and all that, and then I started playing music for Key.
Oh,
well, Kyoto.
You forget. But while you were getting everything set up, I was just kind of. I had the microphone held down by my phone. I was playing the ERB music, the Epic Rap Battles of History, or whatever, and just dropping rhymes and everything while we were waiting, and then eventually you started playing music.
Yeah.
It was literally like there was no one in the room. It was just the 3 of us, and the fucking speakers just bumping Epic Rap Battles of History.
It's because we showed up like 50 minutes before the panel started.
And we were just having fun. I hope we can like do that more often. Show up early to where we just stick around and listen to music before our panels start.
Yeah. So eventually I started playing the openings and endings from the Kyoto before it actually starts. And then eventually the panel starts, and we have a good 15 to 20 people in there, and of course that kept growing throughout the panel. But it was interesting that how many people didn't know that Fumofu was the actual first anime that Kyoto did.
That is true.
Yeah, it was real interesting to see that because, like, I figured that out like a while back, but it was still kind of interesting to see the majority of the people not know that Fumofu was actually Kyoto's very first legitimate animation.
And of course, we got through the whole key adaptations, the second raid, Haruhi, Lucky Star, Keon, the top tiers for Kyoto. And then, of course, Nichijou, Chunibyo, Tamako Market, Free, which I honestly thought since Pervy was just going on and on about Free, I'm like, we're not going to have any time to talk about Beyond the Boundary. Motherfucker.
But we got there.
Yeah, eventually we ended up getting to Beyond the Boundary, and I was surprised at the reaction that people had to the picture I posted for, well, the key visual I had for Beyond the Boundary.
They're like, this doesn't match the show.
Well, because I picked the one picture of them actually being like idols.
Yeah, I know. And then everyone got kind of hurt because they're all like, this is such a good show. And I was like, no.
Actually,
Well,
no, there was only 2 people in there that actually thought Beyond the Boundary was a good show.
Okay. But yeah,
Everyone else was like...
I was thinking in my head, I was like, this has been like one of the worst shows that Koyani's ever done.
So, of course, we actually ended that panel on time. Didn't have to fill for anything, so...
Yep, that panel turned out pretty good.
That got good ratings, so... We'll definitely be doing that one again. And then from there, we just went on through the Artist Alley. Oh, and there's one thing I forgot to mention from Sunday. After we get back and put our stuff away from our panels, I decide, you know what, I'm going to put on my Kill la Kill shirt. The tag says it's one size larger than I actually wear. I forgot to take into account that this is a Japanese size shirt.
Yeah, man, almost twice as small.
So I put the shirt on, and it fits. And when I say it fits...
It's a real snug.
It fits. You could see the curves of my body on this shirt.
Show my muscles.
They saw my sexy muscles. They wanted the sex.
Man, fucking Lane went like Gamagori, man, like showing off his abs and shit.
What abs?
He's like,
You mean
man, you call me fat?
You mean all the kegs we haul around?
No, exactly, all the kegs.
So anyway, on Monday, we really didn't do that much on Monday.
Well, like, what do you call it?
Our Kyoto.
I was gonna say, man, I bought a lot of stuff on Monday, especially in Artist Alley.
Oh, but one thing, thanks to Pervy, and I had $160 left in my account. We go back to the figure lady, and she had these keychains there that were at Sabaku that I missed out on. They had the Oreshura keychains.
I can't believe I missed that.
And I should have just picked the first one and walked away. Because the first one was Aifuyumi, my favorite character. But I put down $108 for these figures, or for these things. And ended up getting all 10 of them.
Yep, that's all 10 key. Yep. I still think it's bullshit, man, that there's tax there, man. It's bullcrap.
Well, no, it's because I was using my card.
Oh, well,
So
no,
it's kind of a fee thing.
I meant like tax in general, though. It's like, well, we have to pay a sales tax, so we're gonna charge you tax. And I was like, bullshit, man. That's your all's fucking fault, man, for coming here and selling shit. You know, why should we have to fucking? Well, anyway, I ain't gonna get into that.
So anyway, after that, I put everything. We go and put everything in in my truck, and then you guys go off to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yes, thank you, Buffalo, for the Korean barbecue sauce that y'all just came out with. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I
that's some really good stuff.
And of course, I just walk around the Artist's Alley, and then I go to this one booth that has this Kill la Kill print for $12. I'm like, do you take card? And they're just like, no, our account froze, so we can only get cash.
Well, like, it wasn't 12. Was that the one to where I came up and I got it instead?
Yeah, it was 12.
I thought it was 6, man, because I only ended up paying $6 for it.
Oh wait, no, that might have been something else. But just like, motherfucker, I don't have any cash on me.
I know, and then I was like, how much is it? And then she's like, $6. I was like, I'll buy it. And then I was like, well, Lane, do you want the one for 2, man? I'll just get you the one for 2. And you're like, yeah, man, I'll take that one. I was like, all right. I was like, there you go. There's $2 for the smaller one.
So then, after that, talk to James, just about random stuff, and then after a while, you guys go off and play Uno, and I think actually at that point, post-con depression was actually starting to kick in.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was for me too, man. It started to kick in, and I was like, "Fuck, dude, it's ending."
So I'm just mixed emotion of just like tired as hell and post-con depression kicking in. So I go up to James and just like, oh man, I just want to go fucking home. And James is
Yeah,
like, well, just go tell him that, I want to make sure that I can get home safely without passing out behind the wheel. So I'm like, yeah, that might work. So on my way back, I end up running into this woman who was cosplaying as, and I can never remember her name. The one woman from The Ring.
Sadako.
Yes, I for some reason I can never remember her name. So I ended up talking to her for about a half an hour, and that kind of took away the depression for a minute. And then after that, I go up to talk to Greg and his wife, and then all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see this woman cosplaying, and she's cosplaying an idol. And since I hadn't seen AKB enough to actually know the characters, I walk up to her and just like, "Who are you cosplaying as?" And she's like, "Nagisa from AKB 0048." I'm just like, and of course I
yeah.
get a
I mean,
picture
you
of
fucking
her.
bastard, dude, man. You showed me that picture of them too, and I was like, "You son of a bitch."
And then I run into her friend and I get a picture of her, and then I get a picture of both of them. And I find out that the one cosplaying as Nagisa, she cosplays as Iori from Idolmaster and Nico from Love Live. I'm just like, next time I see you,
Yep.
hopefully you're cosplaying as them. And then eventually we get to the closing ceremonies.
Oh Jesus!
And this one cosplayer walks up onto stage and she's just telling the story about coming back to Arizona.
Yeah, she was the one that was in like Nevada or like Las Vegas.
And she started like tearing up on stage, and at that point I almost just started bawling.
Well, man, like she
Yeah,
pretty
I
much
was
started
too.
it all.
Same here.
Yeah, I know, man. Man, like it was sad.
So then after that we get the numbers and we find out, and before this I'm like, watch you guys, it's gonna end up moving to the Sheraton. Greg comes up, oh yeah, next year we'll be downtown at the Sheraton. I'm like, who fucking called it? We get the official numbers of 5,137 people,
For
and
this
then
year.
with that, the ceremony closes, and we go to get our badge art. I just
Oh my
quickly grab the
gosh.
one for Friday, and then all of a sudden,
I get like
people out of
fucking
nowhere. It's like a mosh pit just comes out of nowhere.
dude, man, I'm a big guy, man, at like 300 and like 70 pounds, right? Dude, the amount of force that these people hit me with moved me like 5 feet one way. And I was like, holy shit. It was insane, dude. And of course Greg was like, everyone, nice and slowly, line up. And the thing is, dude, is that we were only like 10 feet away from it. And so, man, like we kind of just speed walk over there, then all of a sudden, boom, we just get hit, and we're like, oh fuck. It was pretty crazy, man.
Yeah.
And then on our way back to the truck and stuff, man, that's when it started to kick in, man, for PCD. Because I was like, yeah, dude, man, it's officially over.
Yeah.
And we all felt like shit, and we all just wanted to just go back home and crap
Die.
and just go to
I got
sleep.
home and slept for 14 hours and was late to work the next day.
Congratulations.
Oh yeah, I slept for like 9 hours, like literally.
Dude, man, I went to bed at like midnight and I slept till like I think like 11 the next day, man. I was out.
Yeah, I went to bed at like 10:30. I woke up at like 7:30 the next morning.
Oh fuck! I only got 4 hours of sleep.
But yeah, that was our adventures to Sabo. Saboten 2014. Definitely looking forward to going back there again in 2015.
Oh yeah.
For
Yeah, the
anyone
one.
following our con schedule, our next stop, well, for me, Pervy, and Zombie, we will be at Kaikori Con in Flagstaff.
Now we're not for sure if we're gonna get panels or anything. Here within the next week or so, we'll know if we get panels.
No, we won't know until October.
Really? I thought Greg said that we should know by the mid-time of like September.
Well, maybe, but I'm not. I'm going to hold out and say October.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say because they said that they perfected their little like selection thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like, what would you guys give Sabo 2014? I would, even with all the screw ups and shit, I will tell you this: is that our first day was pretty much crap, but the second day was leaps and bounds better. But overall, I would give it an 8 out of 10.
I'd give it about 8.5 to 8.7.
Yeah, I'd give it an 8 too.
Yeah, same here.
But yeah, guys, overall though, like usually it's a really excellent con to go to and everything. So if you're ever in the Southwest region around the ass end of like August to the very beginning of September, if you're in town and you're wanting something to do, if you love or if you love anime and stuff, man, definitely go check it out, guys. It's a really freaking awesome con.
Yeah, it's a really fun con. It's gonna grow bigger and hopefully not expo big, but hopefully it grows big enough to where it'll warrant people coming from other states in order to come to this convention.
I will tell you this, is that like Greg says a lot of the stuff of what we say is that we want it to be a homey feel too. But I will tell you this, is that I don't think Greg will let this con get above 8 to 9,000 people. I guarantee you.
Remember he said the cap was like 13,000, right?
They said that it's what like it's going to be for the new hotel, but he said that he didn't know if he was going to let it get that big. Because then people are going to start wanting like industry stuff, and that's what he doesn't want. Because he wants it to be like a hometown con where, like, hey, man, like, we're really proud of this con. Not just because of industry stuff, but because of, our panels that, the fans run and everything like that. And I agree with him, man. I agree with him.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I don't think you'll ever see this con get above like 10,000 people. Because he'll put a cap on it. But but unfortunately though, it seems like Kokori probably will get a cap, man, because there was a lot of people, man, for that little con.
He said what, like, yeah, he said like what, 2,500, 3,000 would probably be the cap.
No, he said that like 1,200 itself.
1,200, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because that place can't hold it, and we already told Greg, we're like, dude, don't move out of this hotel, man, for the fucking con.
Well, here's the thing for Kaikori. Even if they wanted to, they cannot move out of that hotel because that is the only hotel in Flagstaff.
Yeah, no, that's like big enough.
The only place they could move to is this little convention center, and they would have to get Sabo numbers of attendance to break even.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, they could always try at the college again, see if that worked.
Yeah, that's true, but man, I love the Little America Hotel, man. That is an awesome hotel.
Yeah. And I really look forward to Kokori this year.
And of course, we'll be talking a lot more about Kaikori the closer it gets, November 7th through the 9th.
And one thing too is that I think we do have a official schedule for our cons next year. If y'all want to talk about it,
well,
just real quick.
We can talk about that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're already pushing the 3-hour mark on this.
Okay.
So, with that being said, thank you for everybody listening to this episode, and thank you for all that went to Sabo, came out to our panels, and just as far as I'm concerned, that people that actually conversed with me and all that. It's great seeing you all. Hope you enjoyed our panels.
Yeah, and shout out to Andy and Lady NTR for coming out to the God Island anime and other cool stuff like that. And once again, just like Lane said, guys, thank you for coming out and supporting us. If y'all listen to this,
And huge shout out to all the guests too. You guys were awesome, and it was really fun getting to meet a lot of you. So thank you for coming out, and special thanks to Ian Sinclair for taking some time out of his day to come make my day and all our days.
right, and also thank you to Greg. Thank you, Greg, and thank you to the staff, or at least the staff that was cool. I'm a thank you for stepping it up and helping us, when we needed it the most. And I think with that, I think that wraps everything up, guys. I am hung like a zombie.
Well, hold on. Join us next week as we actually do get to our other conventions, as we talk about our other conventions from 2014. And then with that, officially, thank you for listening to the podcast. Zombie?
Thank you, guys. I am hung like a zombie.
I'm Pervy Fat Man.
I'm Harmony V.
And this is Phoenix Otaku saying support your local cons, and we'll see you around, baby.
Also, guys, make sure to follow us at MSDF on Twitter. Look for the picture of Usagi from Sailor Moon telling Madoka that she is back, guys. Follow us, and guys, we're always active. Anyway, we are the MSDF, and thank you for listening.